Radio, fair and balanced.
Good morning. It's 53 degrees in Chicago at 5:02 on AM 560 The Answer. I'm David Stewart from the Nissan of St. Charles newsroom. Nissan of St. Charles, home of the Lifetime Advantage warranty. An Illinois House committee has voted to approve a bill backed by Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson that would mean longer prison sentences for repeat gun offenders.
If an individual shows a repeated willingness to pick up a gun and use it illegally, those individuals need to pay a price with a sentence at the higher end of the existing sentencing range.
The bill now goes to the full House. It's already passed the Senate. The Chicago Sun-Times reports, meanwhile, that Johnson's son will donate a kidney to his dad. The surgery is tentatively set for next month. Johnson has suffered from kidney disease for years. The federal jury has convicted the head of a West Side nonprofit for misusing state grant money intended for summer training jobs. Fran Sean Miles was accused of using the $60,000 to keep her struggling organization afloat and to make political contributions. The Cook County judge is refusing to toss out murder charges against the Chicago police officer who shot Laquan McDonald. Van Dyke's attorney argued that political pressure caused by the release of video showing the teenager's shooting in 2014 pushed prosecutors to charge the officer with murder. No one's in custody after an elderly man and woman were attacked during a home invasion and robbery on the northwest side. Police say someone broke into a home late last night in the 5400 block of West Henderson Street and hit the victims in the face. The suspect then grabbed a purse and ran out of the house. The man and woman are hospitalized in good condition. In sports, Cubs over the Giants Thursday 5-1. They're in L.A. to play the Dodgers tonight. The Sox host Detroit in a doubleheader. News and service of Burpee Home Gardens. Get a vegetable garden that you've always wanted with tasty, easy-to-grow veggie and herb plants from the Burpee Home Gardens. Burpee plants are perfect for any size veggie garden. Stop by Menards and pick up your favorite Burpee herb and veggie plants today. AM 560 News Time 5:04. Time to check the climate of your business with aircomfort.com, providing the right climate for business since 1935. Check of traffic in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
When news breaks,
there was absolute panic.
I heard a loud bang, which sounded like a train crash or maybe very loud thunderstorm.
only one station in Chicago has you covered.
It appears to be, again, an act of Muslim terror in Europe.
Breaking news.
Pro-Islamic State social media accounts called upon followers to quote-unquote hunt your prey.
Opinion.
It's heartbreaking because so many people this morning are looking for their loved ones.
Insight.
Evil losers.
This is AM 560, The Answer.
Are you buying or selling a business or starting a business? Maybe you have legal problems with a business partner or employees, or are just drowning in new regulations. You need the support of a law firm that concentrates in a wide range of business law and tax matters. You need the corporate team at Kelleher and Buckley. Whether you're a local mom and pop shop, middle market business, or a large corporation or franchise, they provide cost-effective legal solutions to help your businesses thrive. The lawyers of Kelleher and Buckley focus on targeted legal advice tailored to meet the specific needs of your business. You deserve competent legal representation from a law firm maintaining a high level of knowledge about the ever-changing laws governing businesses. One that also includes accountants and tax specialists on board to provide your business bottom-line solutions. Kelleher and Buckley, LLC of North Barrington and Chicago is a legal solution provider that also includes estate planning, asset protection, life insurance planning, and litigation. Keep your business on track. Call 847-382-9130 or online at kelleherbuckley.com.
You're the one that gets it done. The person your friends call to see if you can fix it. Brakes? No biggie. Shocks and struts? Simple and straightforward. The catalytic converter heat shield? Come on. If it has wheels, you can make it go. But not having the right part can bring your project to a screeching halt. Problem solved with MyPartsGarage.com. My Parts Garage is not a big box store that needs to wait to get a part in. MyPartsGarage.com is the warehouse that sells wholesale to you. They own the inventory. Your part is always in stock. But wait, there's more. Like free shipping within 24 hours, in-state, next-day delivery, or pick it up today at the warehouse. Right now, MyPartsGarage.com will price match your order, and yes, the shipping is still free. The last thing you need to do is drive fast and furiously to find parts. The average driver in Chicago commutes at least 24 miles per day. People are spending more hours in their car than they do at home. Drivers need you. You need MyPartsGarage.com. Lowest prices guaranteed and free shipping.
At 5:06 from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim Talamonte.
Good morning, David. Things look pretty good as we start this Friday morning. No delays on the Edens or the Kennedy right now. The reversible lanes are open on the inbound side of the Kennedy. The Eisenhower's fine. Same goes to the Stevenson. And a little road work still in place on the outbound Ryan from 87th with a split into 2 left lanes. It's scheduled till 6. No delays there. I-57, Bishop Ford still okay. Lakeshore Drive is wide open. 390 westbound, 290 to Rolling. Have 2 right lanes closed till 6. Southbound Tri-State, there's some work. The 2 right lanes from 75th to Archer. No delays on the tollways. I-80 is clear, and Northwest Indiana looks great right now. Traffic at the service of NTB. Don't miss the NTB Super Sale. 72 hours of savings going on now through Memorial Day. For oil, service, repairs, and low prices on top tire brands, visit your neighborhood NTB. That's all you need. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer starts next, but now the forecast, a service of aircomfort.com, providing the right climate for business since 1935. And here's meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Turning cloudy today with a late afternoon shower or thunderstorm, high 72. Couple of showers still around for the evening, otherwise a mostly cloudy night, low 56. Tomorrow, clouds and sun, high 77. Late night rain and a thunderstorm tomorrow night, low 59. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
At the lakefront, 57 degrees, 54 at Midway and O'Hare. Next news, 5:30. Get continuous coverage of the latest news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Chicago's Morning Answer starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by HealthQuest Radio with Dr. David Kolbaba. HealthQuest Radio is heard Saturday mornings at 11 o'clock here on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Sing it with me. Yeah. That's what Greg Gianforte is going to do in D.C. That's the Gianforte campaign theme song, at least as far as I'm concerned. Gianforte, the body slam champion of Big Sky Country, won his special election yesterday. A close race, about a 7-point victory, it looked like, from the Real Clear Politics totals I saw. But a victory nonetheless, and he had a powerful, I thought...
Victory speech?
Victory speech, yeah, take a listen.
And you know something? I'm glad you did me, G, because I got something to say about this man. The last time I went through a living, you know what, with him. Oh, it was terrible. And the thing was, I had him right where I wanted him. And everybody there knew that I could beat the man. Since that day, he's gone on TV, national radio, all around the world, knocked my family.
I don't know if it was that was more focused on Ben Jacobs or Rob Quist, but, you know, it was a real showdown, and Gianforte backed up the body slam with electoral success.
Yesterday, I told you that people were supporting him and that, you know, I mean, they don't like violence, but they understand the message that the media is getting a little too pushy. Well, I took the extra step to find you that person who's supporting Gianforte.
Sometimes hard work is born out of hard lessons. Last night, I learned a lesson. Last night, I made a mistake. And I took an action that I can't take back. And I'm not proud of what happened. I should not have responded in the way that I did. And for that, I'm sorry.
And you're forgiven.
I should not have treated that reporter that way. And for that, I'm sorry, Mr. Ben Jacobs.
Yeah.
He said his name, he meant it, but I love the supporter. And you're forgiven. But there's more. There is more supporters out there that they went to vote for him because of what he did to Ben Jacobs.
Yeah.
People get pushy, and I think there's a response. And if people are pushy all the time, then there's a response.
Remember, he won.
People get pushy, and there's a response.
He
Dan.
won by 7 points in a state that Trump won by 20 plus.
Oh.
So, but here's the thing. I don't think it turns out, based on the polling before the assault and the election results, not that much difference. So I don't think that it turned out to have much of a difference, in part because of what you said yesterday, so many people had early voted.
Yeah,
such a
they
large
said
percentage of the electorate.
50 to 70% had early voted because this is a big, long weekend coming up, and a lot of people are out of town.
So maybe it cost him a couple of points. But so there's a couple things here. One, just on the Gianforte thing. I mean, honestly, is this where we are? On the one side, you've got people, and we had this on the show yesterday, arguing that Gianforte body slamming a reporter is the fault of Donald Trump.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Don Lemon, my buddy, my girlfriend, Don Lemon, had a African-American Trump supporter on, and he wouldn't stand for it. He said, no, you are lying. You just say the truth. Donald Trump is the one who inspired this bad behavior.
Inspired it.
Yeah.
We're all children. The president is our father, and whatever the president says or does, that's what we're going to say or do. Is that how you live your life? Apparently Don Lemon does.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro, answer line. 64636-DA, turnkey.pro, text line. That's the half of the dismal part of it. I mean, it's just ridiculous. But this is the left's mentality, by the way, that you're not responsible for your actions.
Right.
I mean, so it's just an extension of that, right? Yeah. You're not responsible because the president said throw those guys out, so you took it as it's okay for me to body slam. I'm a 55 or 60-year-old man, however old Gianforte is, successful businessman, lived a life. But because Donald Trump said throw some protesters out of a campaign rally, I obviously took that to mean that I could body slam a reporter, thus I'm not responsible for my actions. Mm-hmm. That's the logic of what Don Lemon and others are saying. Could it be any more inane? Now, the flip side of that is that, the media, he put a microphone in his face. He wouldn't persist or he did persist, I should say, when Gianforte said, hey, talk to this staffer. Come on. Gianforte's apology was appropriate. His actions were indefensible. Period. Full stop. Well, what about the protesters in Berkeley, these Marxist students that attack police? Right. They're wrong as well.
So Montana
do you get this?
Yeah, Montana has a new congressman, and that congressman has a new court date. He's going to go pay for his crimes. June 7th, he'll be in court. And Paul Ryan yesterday made the suggestion that an apology was in order.
Should the gentleman apologize? Yeah, I think he should apologize.
Of course.
He didn't even say his name. But
well,
yeah,
of course. But is this where we are? One side, and again, this is a sliver. I don't want to overgeneralize, but this is what's being covered because it presents the binary that the mind-numbing numbskulls in the DC press corps want
You're being
to talk
too
about.
Kind.
Well, on one hand, Gianforte is not responsible. On the other hand, it's okay because the DC press corps and their appendages, like this guy from The Guardian, are jerks, and they're insufferable, and they're relentless, and they're like paparazzi. So that's some kind of rationalization for assaulting him.
Still didn't answer his question. We still don't know where Greg Gianforte stands on healthcare, on Trump care.
Gianforte, number one.
Gianforte. I got lost in translation.
Vince in Waukegan, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hi, Dan. Hey, Amy.
Hey.
Yeah, the D.C. press corps when whole cities were burning under Obama and the Black Lives Matter group.
What? Yes.
Yeah, I mean, what? St. Louis, Baltimore.
Right. What about that?
Cities are burning. I mean, Obama and his lack of respect for the police, and his blatant disregard for their authority is what caused that. Where were they at when all that was taking place? And they're talking about Trump inspiring this guy to throw somebody?
Oh. All right, thanks for the call, Vince. I mean, I don't know. Can we get to this foundational point where we just say people of age are responsible for their actions? I mean, is that a revolutionary concept?
He lost his school. He made a mistake. He apologized. His wife isn't leaving him or anything. She was on stage with him yesterday. It happened.
Barack Obama is not responsible for riots. He's not. No. The rioters are responsible for riots. These are adults.
Or adult children.
Barack Obama is not responsible for the confrontation between Michael Brown and Darren Wilson. Michael Brown was responsible for that confrontation. You see what I'm saying? And did the president or can media personalities and politicians exacerbate tensions rather than tamp them down? Can they help to generate conflict rather than peace? Sure, of course. Are they fundamentally responsible? No. And this whole kind of pointing to one politician or the other as the responsible party for somebody else's actions, I have a problem with. And if we can't kind of start from that foundation, then we're going to have a real difficult time communicating on this topic. Now, the silver lining in this defeat for Rob Quist, though.
Well, that means another country song is going to be coming out.
And it should be a good one.
I can't wait.
It's like a hot, steaming cup of information to start your day. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
I have a song. The title could be I Got Beat by a Man Who Has Beaten. You like that one? Not bad? Yeah. Forecast for today. Well, I wish I had it in front of me, but I have WGN News in front of me. It's going to be cloudy this morning. We have a chance of a thunderstorm later this afternoon and a high in the upper 60s. Let's get into our Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with a more thorough forecast of the roads. Here is Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy and Dan. Good morning. Well, no body slam blues on the roads this morning. Things are pretty clear as we're heading into the holiday weekend. There's a closure on the south side in Pilsen. 18th Street's blocked off. In Ashland and Loomis, they've got the Mole de Mayo Festival going on this weekend. The Edens is clear. The Kennedy just fine as well. No delays to report on the Eisenhower or the Stevenson yet. The Ryan's still okay. There's road work on the outbound Ryan. 87th to the split and the two left lanes. On the tollway, southbound Tri-State from 75th to Archer. Two right lanes are closed till 6 this morning, and one right lane's closed from the 83rd Street toll to 95th. There's also some work on westbound 390 from 290 to Rolling, but no delays at the moment throughout the area. Jim Talamonte and the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Small business owners get free access to the biggest business networking event of the year. Get to the Small Business Expo, featuring more than 25 free business workshops, panel discussions, speed networking sessions, business card showcase, and over 100 exhibits. Gain leads and network with business experts including Vistaprint, Bank of America, Progressive, and Zip Local. There's something for everyone at the Small Business Expo, the largest and most anticipated business-to-business networking event, trade show, and conference for business owners, entrepreneurs, and decision makers. Serious about your business? This expo is a must-attend event. Startups and business owners get free admission to educational workshops covering online and social media marketing, employee benefit plans, credit and financing, strategies for increasing revenue and team productivity, mentoring, cloud technologies, retirement plans, and more. Don't miss the Chicago Small Business Expo at the UIC Forum on Thursday, June 1st from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Register for free today at thesmallbusinessexpo.com. That's thesmallbusinessexpo.com.
Acme Home Insurance.
Yes, I'd like to make a claim.
What are you wanting to claim, sir?
My air conditioner broke down.
Sorry, but your home insurance doesn't cover air conditioner breakdowns.
So, what do you cover?
Home damage from things like earthquakes, volcanoes, a zombie apocalypse.
A zombie apocalypse? But that'll never happen.
But if it did, you'd be covered, sir.
But not my air conditioner?
I'm afraid not.
But his air conditioner could have been covered with a home warranty from American Home Shield, plus components of 20 other major home systems and appliances, like his electrical system, plumbing, refrigerator, and more. For valuable free information, call 1-800-617-4432. Home insurance can cover what might happen.
Zombies are coming!
But a home warranty helps cover what will happen.
Now the dryer won't work.
Life happens. Have a plan. Get a home warranty from American Home Shield. For valuable free information, call 1-800-617-4432. That's 1-800-617-4432. 1-800-617-4432.
Do you think of insurance like a utility bill? They tell us what to pay, and we pay it. Insurance companies make changes, and your insurance needs to change too. That's how you end up with too much or not enough. DLF Insurance is an independent insurance agency representing over 20 highly rated companies like Travelers, Liberty Mutual, Progressive, MetLife, and Safeco. Their clients receive regular policy reviews, making sure you have what you need at the best price. DLF has over 35 years of experience. They're a one-stop personal, business, life, health, home, and auto insurance agency. They do all the heavy lifting, navigating the complex insurance world on your behalf, so you can focus on your family, business, and personal life. Call now. Get a quote to find out if you have the right insurance at the best price. 847-824-3020. 847-824-3020. Or just remember dlfinsurance.com. They work for you.
AM 560, The Answer.
Rob Quist.
What's this one
Is
called?
this 45 caliber, man? Second fiddle.
He's really talented. Wait, listen to him. Wait.
It's a real double entendre now.
We played in such close harmony.
It's really soothing, you know?
When he waltzed
Makes me want to go to Wyoming or Montana.
Maybe he could do
Nashville?
Maybe he could do a tribute song to that Guardian reporter Ben Jacobs.
I fell down and hurt my elbow.
You know, you got a little country twang there.
I broke my glasses.
Not bad. Yeah.
No word yet if Ben Rhodes has lawyered, or Ben Jacobs has lawyered up yet. But he got his apology yesterday.
Yeah.
That's good. He walked out of the hospital, by the way, with a sling, an arm sling. And a little bit of an ego.
No,
bruised ego.
Best thing that ever happened to that guy. Yeah, he'll have a staff job at the New York Times in a week.
Is that what you're predicting? Or maybe on CNN.
Yeah, right.
A
He'll have his
political
own
analyst.
show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The Ben Jacobs Show. He's brave. He puts microphones in front of testy politicians.
Speaking of bravery, actual bravery, President Trump, with our NATO allies, the heads of state, and he's had a very interesting trip abroad. He has laid down the law. He did it to Arab leaders in Saudi Arabia. A speech that, very good piece in New York Daily News by former CIA Director Jim Woolsey. A speech that Jim Woolsey, a former CIA director, called courageous. Just as it was a courageous trip to the holiest places in the three Abrahamic faiths. Trump's assertiveness in repairing U.S. foreign policy, shoring up international resolve against terrorism, can rally the world to take strong action against the enemy. Unlike the last 8 years, Woolsey continues, under the Obama administration, when the commander-in-chief's hesitancy to lead hobbled American action on too many fronts, there's no doubt we now have a president who wants to fight and win this war. And he's talking about, of course, the war on terrorism. This was a central topic to President Trump's speech at the new NATO HQ.
Was that before or after he pushed the prime minister of Montenegro out of the way?
Hey, get out of here.
He's like, hey, and then he gets in there, and he pulls his jacket together and looks up to the right as if nothing happened. That was my favorite part. I'm ready for my photo shoot. I'm ready for my glamour shot.
Hey, look, Montenegro, you just got here. Get in the back of the line, Montenegro.
I could not watch that enough last night. That's classic.
How about when he told Rocco and Moose to help these Western European countries find their wallets?
Oh, yeah. Hey, pay up, huh?
I have been very, very direct with Secretary Stoltenberg and members of the alliance in saying that NATO members must finally contribute their fair share and meet their financial obligations. But 23 of the 28 member nations are still not paying what they should be paying and what they are supposed to be paying for their defense. This is not fair to the people and taxpayers of the United States. And many of these nations owe massive amounts of money from past years and not paying in those past years. 2% is the bare minimum for confronting today's very real and very vicious threats. And I never asked once what the new NATO headquarters cost. I refuse to do that. But it is beautiful.
Who put these curtains up?
Yeah.
Who designed this place?
Hey,
this is spectacular.
Nice place you built with my money there, boys and girls.
I like the granite countertops and the washroom.
Granite, sure.
And Kohler, you went with Kohler? I'm very impressed.
Sure. Is that Italian marble? Sure, why not? It's on my dime.
Who is the architect?
I'll tell you
Did
what.
a great job. I mean, this is.
Tell you what, you can say on some fronts, but you can't say on this front that was just big tough talking rhetoric during the campaign, and he's gonna capitulate as president of the United States when it comes to saying what he said on the trail to Western European leaders, and our European NATO allies generally, when it comes right down to it, when he's at a NATO meeting with other heads of state. I mean, wow. The best was he's saying that, and then the camera pans.
Yep. And they're
world
like,
leaders,
they're checking their
Merkel,
pockets.
yeah.
Like, I didn't bring enough money. Who's got their checkbook?
Montenegro, hey, Merkel, can you spot me a fin? I tell you what.
They do need to pay their fair share, though.
It was a good speech for him to follow through on what he said, that he was serious about it, and put those Western European nations on the dime. He also talked bluntly about terrorism and about open borders. And he did it with all of them assembled. So, you know,
half of them look scared.
Well, I
mean, they were wide-eyed going,
I've criticized Trump before about kind of pandering and he's a bit of a people pleaser and a popularity seeker. He wasn't on this trip. He laid it down and he remembered who his audience is. You know who his audience is? It's not the D.C. press corps. It's not socialist heads of states in Europe. It's the American people.
Right.
It's the American families who revolted to put him in the White House. And I'll tell you, it's been really good. It's been well-crafted speeches that are textured but unmistakable.
Yeah, and I'm not a huge Trump fan, but I've felt this whole trip, 5 countries in 8 days, he has put our best interest at heart. He has kept us in mind, and he has kept up to his promises. And yesterday, though, when he told them that they need to pay up, was lights out for me. Because I've been waiting for him to say it, and he did it so gracefully and just at the perfect time when they're all caught on camera, the uh-oh moment. You know, they're all on notice.
It was.
And by the way, who designed this place? They did a hell of a job.
I don't want to say it was, Mr. Gorbachev tear down this wall. It didn't rise to that level. It wasn't Reagan at Brandenburg Gate, but that was a moment. That was a moment. And he should have said, hey, look, I'm in the building trades in Manhattan. You don't think I know a few knee breakers? When I get mad, they get angry.
You're listening to Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Most folks are scared to even begin the process of buying a new car. No doubt shopping for a new vehicle can be intimidating. You want a dealer that really helps you get the best car for you and your family and skips the high-pressure nonsense. That's Joe Cotton Ford. They're here to help you find the new Ford car or truck that fits your lifestyle and your budget with no hassles, no drama, no high-pressure sales tactics. Really. You just can't find that kind of great customer service these days, so relax. Car buying doesn't have to stress you out. At Joe Cotton Ford, you have their word. Your satisfaction is their top priority. In fact, that's why Joe Cotton Ford is one of the highest repeat customer dealerships in Chicagoland. They take pride in working with generations of Ford buyers and their families, whether they're buying their first vehicle or their 14th. Get to Joe Cotton Ford and drive home a new Ford car or truck today. Gary and North Avenue in Carroll Stream or at joecottonford.com. That's joecottonford.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
It's commencement address time at Harvard. And Mark Zuckerberg, or the Zuck, as he's known only at Harvard, apparently, offered a commencement speech that focused on 3 things we must do. And we'll go through those 3 things and see if you agree that we must do them at 5:38.
And later, quite a treat, how you can get President Trump's voice on your GPS. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Say good morning to Dave Stewart, who's in for Mike Scott.
Thanks, Amy. Thanks, Dan. It's 54 degrees in Chicago at 531 on AM 560, The Answer. From the Nissan of St. Charles newsroom, Nissan of St. Charles, home with a lifetime advantage warranty. Cook County judge is refusing to toss out murder charges against the Chicago police officer who shot Laquan McDonald. Jason Van Dyke's attorney Daniel Herbert argued Unsuccessfully, the prosecutors were pressured into charging his client after the release of the video showing the teenager's shooting in 2014.
It created this fury in the public, and the public was told essentially, you are going to be appalled when you see this. You better be appalled when you see this.
A group of protesters gathered outside the courthouse during that hearing. 2 nurses are suing after an inmate who escaped custody was shot and killed earlier this month, but only after taking them hostage at Del Nor Hospital in Geneva. Their attorney claims one of the nurses was beaten, tortured, and even raped by Taiwan Salters. A SWAT team eventually shot Salters in the head. A new lawsuit claims a deputy assigned to guard Salters left him unshackled and then ran and hid after his gun was taken. Former Senator Joe Lieberman is explaining why he removed his name from the list of candidates for the FBI director's job.
With everything swirling in Washington, you can't have a director of the FBI coming from the same law firm as the president's private lawyer. It's just, it looks terrible.
Lieberman admitted, though, that he had thought seriously about taking the position. Republican Greg Gianforte is the projected winner of that special congressional election in Montana, despite allegedly assaulting a reporter the day before. Gianforte is facing a misdemeanor assault charge from that altercation. A teacher at a Chicago military academy on the south side is accused of sexually assaulting a 16-year-old girl multiple times this past year. Anthony Frontera was arrested Wednesday in Elgin. In sports, the Cubs beat the Giants Thursday 5-1. They're in L.A. to play the Dodgers tonight. The Sox host Detroit in a doubleheader. The news and service of NTB. Don't miss the NTB Super Sale. 72 hours of savings going on now through Memorial Day. For oil, service, repairs, and low prices on top tire brands, visit your neighborhood NTB. That's all you need. AM 560 News Time 5:33. Traffic in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
Mike Gallagher believes the Trump administration needs to fix the leak.
Let's take a moment to talk about these leaks, because there's somebody or bodies within the Trump administration who want to do him in. There's no question about this. It's felonious to leak a lot of the information that has been leaked to the media over the first few months of the Trump presidency.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Visit Discount Tire this Friday and Saturday and get up to $320 on select tire and wheel packages purchased with Discount Tire credit. Discount Tire, where America saves on tires.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I was diagnosed with congestive heart failure. I went from being able to work 14, 16 hours a day with no problem to where I could barely walk a block to the store. I went on to the phytonutrients about 6 months ago, and within a couple of months, my medical doctor had cut my prescriptions down in a little bit smaller dosage. The next time I went back a month later, I walked into the doctor's office and he says, "My gosh, what's happened to you? You don't even look like the same person." He looked at my legs and the swelling had gone down. My blood pressure was down. The venous stasis ulcers that I had had on my legs for the last 4 or 5 years because of the poor circulation were all healed, and I'm feeling far better.
The new challenge will allow you to receive 2 months of Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies free. And we'll even ship them to you free. Call now for details. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Chicago.
At 5:35 from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, David. I-57 northbound. We're seeing delays from Wilmington Peatone Road to Peatone Road. There's a crash there on the right shoulder. Then farther north, it's slow from 107th to the Ryan. Travel time from I-80 to the Verge is 19 minutes. Bishop Ford even heavier with delays starting at 115th, 23 minutes. 80-94 to the Ryan. Edens is clear. The Kennedy just fine. No delays to report yet on the Eisenhower. On Stevenson, slow Harlem to Kedzie and State to Lakeshore Drive, 38 minutes, 3:55 to the drive. Ryan is 17 minutes, 95 to downtown. Tollways look fine. Traffic at the service of Disney Pixar's Cars 3. This summer, it's not over until lightning strikes. Get ready for more speed, more horsepower, more of everything. Lightning McQueen returns when Disney Pixar's comedy adventure Cars 3 races into theaters in 3D on June 16th. Cars 3. You've never seen a Cars movie like this. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
More of Chicago's Morning Answer next, but now the forecast. A service SevereComfort.com, providing the right climate for business since 1935. Cloudy with a shower or thunderstorm late this afternoon, a high of 72. Cloudy with a couple of showers this evening, low 56. Partly sunny tomorrow with a high of 77. Right now it's 54 degrees at O'Hare. Next news, 6 o'clock. Continuous coverage of the latest news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Now more of Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the IRS Radio Hour with attorney Stephen Leahy every Sunday afternoon at 5 on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues now. And make sure to stay tuned to catch me, Mike Gallagher, coming up at 9, only on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy.
What song is this? Like a technical.
I don't know.
Huh?
Rob, this isn't Rob Quist, I know that.
Hard Times
Oh,
Paramore.
Oh, boy, that's a deep.
Is that the name of the
It's a
group?
deep cut.
Hard Times?
Yeah. No, Paramore's the name of the group.
Oh.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know music like you do. I don't know much like you do, Dan.
You do have
that's my country song.
When you were, I don't know much like you do. I
Dan,
don't know much
I
like
don't
you
much
do.
like you do,
That's pretty
Dan.
good, actually. That's a pretty good country song
Thanks.
title. And you have a bit of a Juice Newton twang.
Ah.
Yeah.
Just don't let me sing Just Call Me Angel. My morning angel.
I won't let you sing that.
Just touch my cheek before you leave me. Oh, a little pitchy this
I
morning.
think you should go maybe with Queen of Hearts.
Playing with the Queen of Hearts.
Yeah, the clapping helps
No, 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 no.
to cover.
That's what I have to do
Yeah.
to keep me away from you.
We'll take your Rob Quist country song titles for his electoral defeat all morning.
That's going to be great.
Um,
You know he's going to write a song about it.
Well, I hope so.
Oh, I can't wait.
You
better include
what was
Jacobs.
What was your idea?
I got beaten by a man who beats.
Yeah, that's pretty good. The kind of
And then put in some Ben
parallel
Jacobs.
repetitive structure is
Yeah.
very country. Beaten by a man who beats. Not bad. I've still got friends in low places at the DCCC. How about that? We'll take them all morning. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro. Answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro. Text line, favorite country song line.
Oh.
I got mine. Mine
Oh,
is
what's-
best country song line.
I got drunk, lost my wife and my job.
Well, that's every country song. Randy Travis.
Mm-hmm.
If my phone still ain't ringing, I guess it still ain't you. That's country.
That is.
That's the kind of. That's where we have to go with Rob Quist. Who can belt out a tune, Mr. Quist?
Well, I'll save mine for later.
All right, we'll tackle that. We also have to tackle graduation season. Someday, Peyton and Eli will be forced to endure an insufferable commencement speech.
Those are the worst. I wanted to walk out on mine at University of
The
Iowa.
one that you gave?
No, the one at University of Iowa. Too many people, nothing to the heart. It's just, here you go, bye-bye.
Who gave your commencement address?
The president of the University of Iowa.
Well, that's lame.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go in-house for a commencement address.
Oh, wow. He walked across the river to give us a commencement speech. What was his name? Hunter or something? I can't.
It sounds memorable.
Yeah. He was a tall man.
Yeah.
I had to look up to him.
Well, if you're graduating from Harvard, Morningwood Academy, then you get Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh.
Who dropped out of Harvard, much like Bill Gates. And
hey, I'm a dropout. I've done pretty well for myself.
all right, hold on, wait, hold the phone on the Zuck. Hold on. Dennis in Villa Park, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hi guys.
Hey.
I want to sing the Body Slam Blues.
Booyah!
Yeah,
That is good.
Body
That's
Slam
good.
Blues is good. That could be like a rockabilly tune.
Uh-huh. Or I got
I
beat by a man who Hulk Hogan's. And then Hulk Hogan's song.
Well, that would be a cover, and that's Gianforte's theme music. No, I don't know if Quist could do rockabilly. He's more of a old school country crooner.
Yeah. What was his song? My 45 caliber and
45 caliber man.
45 caliber man.
That's a great country song name.
Blue
right there.
Jeans Love Affair. That was a good one.
45 caliber man.
That's all you need, man.
Yeah. Sing.
This is 45 Caliber Man. Can you turn it up, Justin, a little bit?
Lord, this isn't a season for the faint of heart. It's time that we made our stand. And people, if we're gonna see Virginia City, it's gonna take a 45 caliber man.
Yeah. Grab your partner. Get out on that dance floor, folks. All right.
He's got a little catchy beat
It is. It's just pretty good. His voice is too high. So, like, but though, going back to Dennis, Body Slam Blues, kid, that voicing Body Slam Blues, you need like a John Anderson, somebody who can sing Seminole Wind.
Yeah.
You know, that's that's out of his range, I think. 45 Caliber Man.
I might download that on my iTunes.
I'm gonna make that my personal theme music. I'm gonna
I know
walk
what you were
around.
gonna say. You're gonna make that your niche.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk around with my boombox playing that song. That's my
Okay,
theme
John
music.
Cusack. We'll see you in the alley.
Well, that's actually no.
Cusack. What?
That's I know.
What's that movie? With the boombox?
Yeah.
Say Anything or
Right.
something. Love Me.
In
What is it
Your
called?
Eyes, the Peter Gabriel song.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Right. No.
Cheesy.
I was talking about I'm gonna get you, sucker.
Oh.
The black exploitation spoof film where they're
Oh,
walking
yeah,
around with boomboxes playing their theme songs. That's
That
the way you do
movie
it.
was funny.
The movie's hysterical.
It's great.
The Wayans brothers are hysterical.
Uh.
Randy in Elkhorn, Wisconsin. You're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Amy,
Yes, Randy.
if I said you had a beautiful body, would you hold it against me?
Oh,
Boy,
see?
is that a favorite country lyric or your favorite pickup line?
It's worked both ways.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
Thanks for the call, Randy.
Nice, thanks. Anybody else? 312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line.
Steve
Taking
on-
requests all morning.
Steve on 88 has a country song title for Rob Quist.
What?
Schlonged. Sure. Yeah, it's
I
good,
got
Steve.
Wow, Steve's got to wake up.
That's-
I expected more from Steve on 88.
Well, it's it's kind of the Trump supporter runs
Mm-hmm.
that whole thing. It's the problem though is it's difficult to rhyme schlonged.
Oh.
You know?
I still like mine the best. I got beat by a man who's beaten.
I got beat by a man who has beaten.
I got beat by a man. Well, that's too. You got to go more country.
I got beat by a man who beats,
Yeah.
which is redundant, but that's country.
But that's country.
Yeah.
I got beat by a man who beats. It's kind of like a homophone. Beat. Get it?
Yeah.
Huh?
I came to a fork in the. Well, this would be more of a lyric. I came to a fork in the road on my way to Washington, and I took it. I don't know. Bob in Buffalo Grove, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Thanks for taking my call, Dan and Amy. I go back to the very early days of rock and roll and rhythm and blues, and a lot of those lyrics were very suggestive. I don't know if I can say it, but there was a song called "Baby, Let Me Bang Your Box."
Wow.
I don't know what that means, Bob. Thank you for the. Thank you for the call. Could you explain the lyric Bob was referring to?
Oh my gosh. The
his
box of chocolates.
Boombox.
The boombox.
The boombox I was speaking of. Chicken fried steak in my heart. STAKE.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's good. Chicken fries. What Bob was referring to, are those real lyrics?
I couldn't place the song.
Or the decade.
I'll have to take Bob's word for it. I'm
Mm.
sorry, I'm a little distracted. I'm still trying to think of words that rhyme with schlonged to fill in Steve on 88's song.
If you're talking about it, Dan and Amy are talking about it. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
I mean, it's really, that guy, Bobby, he should release an album now because I'm into his music. Be good.
45 Caliber Man. That's a good beat. You could dance to it.
Forecast for today, we're going to have some clouds and some sunshine, but around 2, 3 o'clock this afternoon, we're going to have a nasty storm plowing through here. A high today of 75 degrees. Saturday, slight chance of showers in the evening, a high of 78. Sunday, a chance of showers in the morning, a high of 77. And on Monday, we're going to have sunny skies on Memorial Day. Scattered storms, isolated thunderstorms, a high of 70. Let's go into our Alarm Detections Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte. Tell me more.
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Dan. The inbound Kennedy is getting a little heavy now from the River O'Toole to Canfield. 21 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. Outbound fine at 20. All clear in the Edens. Eisenhower inbound. Slow, Manheim to 17th. Racine into the circle. 31 minutes, Thorndale to downtown. Outbound fine at 29. Stevenson now 42 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan 21 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57 has some delays in the Peatone area. There's a crash at Peatone Road on the right shoulder. And farther north, really bottled up 107th to the merge. Looking at 20 minutes, I-80 to the right. Bishop Ford 25 minutes. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Hey, Bolingbrook Golf Club, that is the location of our annual golf outing this year, sponsored in part by Joe Cotton Ford. But there's more than just golf at the Bolingbrook Golf Club. Celebrate Independence Day this year, complete with food, fun, and, of course, a spectacular fireworks show. Find out all the details about their 4th of July celebration at BolingbrookGolfClub.com.
If your roof is needy, if your roof is leaky,
Call Grumweedy.
if your roof isn't right after it's stormy and shingles are curly,
Call Grumweedy.
If your roof is looking needy, call Crumweedy. This is Mark Olson of Crumweedy.
And I'm Greg Olson from Crumweedy. We are a third-generation family-run business. We've been doing Chicagoland roofs since 1953.
You really can't do that unless you do really amazing roofs. We share the same conservative values as you, and we really want to do your roof. Here's what you can expect.
First, no high pressure. You make the choice. Whatever option you choose, count on getting a roof that lasts at a fair price.
You see, application is really the key. We follow the manufacturer's specifications so your warranty is intact. You know, a lot of companies don't do that, and that could really void your warranty.
No horror stories here. The roof you need that will fix your problems. When your roof is needy,
Call Grumweedy.
for your needy roof, go to myroofisneedy.com. myroofisneedy.com.
Americans have the right and advantage of being armed, unlike the citizens of other countries whose governments are afraid to trust the people with arms. James Madison, Federalist Papers. Our founders recognized that the common individual needs to be trusted, but with trust, there must be common sense and personal responsibility. This is especially true of handguns. If you've been thinking of making a purchase, visit the Range at 355. The Range at 355 is so much more than a state-of-the-art shooting range. It is a fully stocked showroom carrying a variety of firearms with brands like Smith & Wesson, Sig Sauer, HKs, and Glock. The Range at 355 offers Illinois concealed carry license training and a full curriculum of classes designed to teach you what you need to know to be a responsible gun owner and concealed carrier. Their professional team will train you like a pro. Founded by patriots like you, providing professional guidance and courteous instruction. Trust your skills to the pros at the Range at 355. For range hours and class info, visit range355.com. range355.com.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
AM 560, The Answer.
You know,
Well, my baby gave a party the other night. The party was getting dead.
this doesn't sound like Rob
I
Cliff.
spied a piano in the corner.
This is the Toppers.
Looked at my baby and said, baby, let me bang your box. Baby, let me bang your
I'd like to apologize. Who is it? Bill from Buffalo Grove? What was our friend's name who called in with this song?
Yeah, baby,
Lyric-
let me bang your box.
Of course, you're talking about a piano. Why don't you get your mind out of the gutter,
Well,
Amy?
this is a song. It's from the Toppers called "Baby, Let Me Bang Your
Yeah.
Box." And yes, you're right. It is about a piano, not about anything
What else would it be about?
inappropriate. I have no idea. 312-642-5600.
All right, I'm looking forward to this call.
Country
Now,
calls.
this
Country
next
calls.
this next caller, Tony from the South Side, is the one who gave us Tangerine Jesus to describe Donald Trump. So he set a high bar for himself. Tony. You know,
Hey,
talk-
good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Dan. Good morning, Amy. Here's the country song. We're going to wrap this up and put it in a nice little package, okay?
Big.
This one's called Ain't No Snowflakes in Montana during May.
or maybe during the month of May. You pick it.
That could be a lyric. I like "Ain't No Snowflakes in Montana."
There you
Just
go.
stop there. That's good because you think big sky country, big snow.
big snow.
It's a double entendre.
Yeah.
Oh, Tony, Tony, you didn't disappoint. I got to tell you, well done.
Oh, well,
Ain't no snowflakes in Montana. Tony on the South Side.
there you
Special
go.
request.
Thanks, guys. You have a good weekend.
You too. Thanks, Tony. Paxton and Martinton.
Bill and Allison, good morning. Best country lyric ever. How can I miss you if you don't leave?
Yes. Wait,
How can I miss you if you don't leave?
What's the song again?
I don't know. I remember it in high school.
Yeah, you just remember that lyric.
But I know
'cause
that's
you've used
the
it.
lyric.
Yeah.
It's so true, though. How can I miss you if you don't leave?
Paxton.
And Paxton, it's not Bill and Allison. It's Dan and Amy.
I think he's having a little fun at our expense.
Oh.
Yes, I think that
Okay.
that was also part of his playing with us. So yeah, I'll put that number 2 behind if my phone still ain't ringing. I guess it still ain't you. How can I miss you if you don't leave? Yeah, that's country.
This is the morning show more Chicago radio listeners are choosing. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Thinking about life insurance? What if you could make one free phone call and learn your best price from nearly a dozen highly rated, price-competitive companies? Well, that's exactly what happens when you call SelectQuote Life. For example, George is 40. He was getting sky-high quotes from other companies because he takes meds to control his blood pressure. But when I shopped around, I found him a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $28 a month. I'm SelectQuote agent Dan Savino, and believe me, if SelectQuote isn't shopping for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 1-800-613-7416. That's 1-800-613-7416. 1-800-613-7416. Or go to SelectQuote.com. We shop. You save. Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your price could vary depending on your health issuing company and other factors not available in all states.
Okay, I got it. Baby, I'm right there where you want me at the bottom of your glass. It's a Patsy Cline song.
Yeah, but what's that?
What's one of my favorite lines.
Oh, that's your favorite country
Baby, I'm
line.
right there where you want me at the bottom of your glass.
That's okay. That's a good line.
Yeah?
And Patsy
Yeah?
Cline's great. Love Patsy
Oh,
Cline.
she's the best. Hey, you hear me talk about MyPillow all the time because a good night's sleep is so important to our health. And for the month of May, you can still receive the 50% discount on the MyPillow 4-pack. What's that? Well, 2, not 1, but 2 premium MyPillows and 2 Go Anywhere MyPillows, all for the price of 1 with 50% off. And with the MyPillow, you can move the patented fill to give you the support you need. You'll wake up feeling refreshed, rejuvenated, ready to tackle your day. Our good friend Mike Lindell makes them right here in America using only American labor. And you can wash and dry your MyPillow. They're hypoallergenic. And, of course, you get the 10-year warranty.
Like Greg Gianforte. He is a real American. Fight for the rights of every man.
Did you hit your head? Is there a gas leak in here? 10-year warranty, 60-day money-back guarantee. So for the month of May, get that 50% off your 4-pack by calling 800-489-0201. Use the promo code Amy or visit MyPillow.com. Promo code Amy.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
Hi, I'm Dave Geiselhart, president and owner of Home Trust Mortgage and customer of Signature Bank. When the large banks turned away from the mortgage lending industry during the financial crisis, I turned to locally owned Signature Bank. Signature Bank stepped in and helped me expand our business at a time when the larger banks wouldn't. Today, I'm proud to say Home Trust Mortgage has been able to expand our business in Illinois and the Great Lakes region. We couldn't have done that without the help of Signature Bank. Signature Bank truly helps Chicago businesses like mine grow and thrive. That's why we also became personal customers and shareholders of Signature Bank, Chicago's business bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. Learn more about turning your business vision into reality. Visit signature-bank.com. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
When news breaks,
There was absolutely
absolute panic.
I heard a loud bang, which sounded like a train crash or maybe very loud thunderstorm.
Only one station in Chicago has you covered.
It appears to be, again, an act of Muslim terror in Europe.
Breaking news.
Pro-Islamic State social media accounts called upon followers to quote unquote hunt your prey.
Opinion.
It's heartbreaking because so many people this morning are looking for their loved ones.
Insight.
Evil losers.
This is AM 560, The Answer.
At 5:57, checking the roads from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, David. It's all clear on the Edens right now. The inbound Kennedy has a slow pocket from the River Road toll to Canfield. 21 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. Outbound fine at 20. On Eisenhower, heavy from Mannheim to Harlem. Racine into the Burn Circle. 33 minutes, Thorndale to downtown. Outbound 29. Stevenson at 44 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan is 22 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 20 minutes, I-80 to the Merge. Bishop Ford 22. Northbound Tri-State slow from the Reagan tollway to the Eisenhower. The other tollways look good. In northwest Indiana, there's a delay on westbound 94, State Road 249 to the Indiana Toll Road. Traffic is a service of Lowe's. Pro customers at Lowe's save 5% on every purchase every day when you use your Lowe's Business Credit Account. That's 5% on all purchases in-store or online. Subject to credit approval, U.S. only. Traffic answers when you need them most. Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Now your forecast, a service of aircomfort.com, providing the right climate for business since 1935. And here's meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Today, some sun, then turning cloudy, with a shower or thunderstorm late in the afternoon, high 72. Tonight, a couple of showers during the evening, otherwise mostly cloudy with a low 56. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
57 Lakefront, 55 Midway, 54 degrees right now at O'Hare. AM 560 news time, 5:58. In the news, Chicago's top cop is a step closer to convincing the state legislature to crack down on repeat gun offenders. An Illinois House committee has approved and sent to the full House a bill to allow higher prison sentences for repeat gun offenders. Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson testified in favor of the measure Thursday. Police are questioning a person of interest in the murder of a Hinsdale woman earlier this month. Authorities say Andrea Urban was found dead in her home May 4th of blunt force trauma. Charges could be filed soon. A Cook County judge will not throw out the murder charges against police officer Jason Van Dyke for the killing of Laquan McDonald. Van Dyke's attorney argued yesterday that not only was the 2014 shooting justified, it was Van Dyke's duty to shoot the teenager because he was carrying a knife. McDonald was shot 16 times as he walked away from Van Dyke. Winnebago County Sheriff Gary Caruana is dropping plans to create a federal immigration detention center inside the county jail. The Rockford Register-Star reports Caruana says immigration officials could not guarantee that the county would retain control of the facility and that only people convicted of crimes would be placed there. In sports, the Cubs beat the Giants Thursday 5-1. They're in L.A. to play the Dodgers tonight, and the White Sox are hosting Detroit today in a doubleheader. The news is a service of Staples. When it's time for help with your new technology, go to Staples. Staples has a full range of tech services to help your business from data recovery to virus protection. And now get $50 off PC diagnostic and repair service, and Saturday does not include parts. Staples, it's pro time. Fox News, WIND, Chicago.
Fox News Radio. I'm Dave Anthony.
Thank you, Montana.
Another Republican is headed to Congress.
Bernie Sanders and Nancy Pelosi can't call the shots here in Montana.
Greg Gianforte is pledging to drain the swamp. Despite Wednesday's confrontation with a reporter the night before the special election, he was the winner. Gianforte is charged with assault because of that confrontation.
When you make a mistake, you have to own up to it.
And he apologized to Ben Jacobs, who says Gianforte body-slammed him, trying to stop him asking questions. President Trump's gathered with world leaders in Sicily and just tweeted his foreign trip's been successful. We made and saved the U.S. many billions of dollars and millions of jobs. Fox's Simon Owen live at the G7 summit.
Dave, the White House saying it expects talks here today to be robust and challenging. That message echoed by EU President Donald Tusk.
There's no doubt that this will be the most challenging G7 summit in years.
President Trump and other leaders are at odds on issues including trade and climate change. The president meeting this morning one-on-one with the Japanese Prime Minister. President Trump offering support on North Korea, saying it's a big problem, but it will be solved. Dave.
Simon, the president's son-in-law, is reportedly under scrutiny. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, the FBI wants to know more about meetings Jared Kushner, who's married to Ivanka Trump, had with Russian officials while he was a member of the Trump transition team. News reports say one of the meetings was with Russian Ambassador Sergei Kislyak. Kushner's attorney issued a statement saying he had already agreed to tell Congress what he knew about the meetings and that he would do the same if there are further inquiries. Dave.
Rachel, in Syria, both state TV and opposition monitoring groups report U.S. coalition airstrikes on an ISIS-controlled town have killed 35 people. An attack on a bus in Egypt. State TV says gunmen targeted a bus carrying Coptic Christians, killing 23, wounding 25. Fox News Radio, fair and balanced.
If you're missing teeth or even a single tooth, dental implants are a fantastic way to regain your confidence, your smile, your dental health. Hi, it's Mike Gallagher. You hear a lot of people screaming at you about dental implants. Get it done in a day, or we can treat everybody, or hundreds of thousands of implants. Look, successful implants don't come from an implant factory. What you don't hear talked about is skill, treatment, and installation. These are what make for successful lifelong implants. And that's why you need to see Dr. Norouzi at Fox River Periodontics. Dr. Norouzi is the recommended choice of dentists that don't do implants. You need the experience, skill, and honesty that 24 years of dental implants brings.
This is Dr. Norouzi. I personally guarantee your happiness with your implants.
Call Fox River Periodontics, 630-232-7400, 630-232-7400, or just remember, implantsforme.com, implantsforme.com.
Summer involves a lot of driving, to camp, to work, to soccer, back home to grab what they forgot, and then back to soccer again. So wouldn't you like to know your car is up for it? Enter Hum by Verizon. Now you can check your car's health from your phone with vehicle diagnostics, drive with more peace of mind thanks to 24/7 emergency assistance, and let the kids stream and game on the go with your car's own Wi-Fi hotspot. Get Hum and get where you're going. Learn more at hum.com. Verizon Wi-Fi available on Hum X only. Data usage applies. Coverage not available everywhere. Visit vzw.com for availability.
It's time to gear up for summer fun. The Ready to Ride sales event is here. Looking to ride the waves? Check out our selection of Sea-Doo watercraft. Want to tear up the trails? Shop our selection of Can-Am ATVs and side-by-sides. Or rev up for open road adventures with the latest Spyder Roadsters. Stop in now and save up to $3,500 on your ultimate warm weather adventure machines. Visit Dockside Marine in Wilmington. Offer ends soon. Restrictions may apply. See dealer for details.
This hourly segment is brought to you by MyPainChicago.com. World-class treatment for chronic pain. Go to MyPainChicago.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Okay, we're still taking your Rob Quist concession country song titles. The leader in the clubhouse right now, as far as I'm concerned, is Tony from the South Side with Ain't No Snowflakes in Montana.
Uh-huh.
Let's see. We've got a couple here. Hold on.
I still like mine. I got beaten by a man who beats.
Yeah.
Real simple.
Ann B. Davis's Bowling Ball has a title, The Ballad of Gianforte. He was the king of beatdowns when beatdowns were king.
Oh, that's
pretty good. He's kind of building
good.
off your title, but that's pretty good.
Metaphor of beat and beat. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
I like it.
Also, Steve on 88 has a lyrical idea.
Uh-huh.
Where's that? Oh, it would be a cover of Gloria Estefan.
Mm-hmm.
Turn the beat down around. He just gives concussions.
Oh, yeah. Turn it upside down.
Well, yeah, but you have to
Oh, you have
change
to
the
change the
words.
words.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
or I got a howler.
Yeah. All right.
Beating like a dog.
I don't know if we're ever going to get to Mark
I know,
Zuckerberg at
we
Harvard,
will.
but, who cares? This is better. Mark in DeKalb, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning.
Morning.
I have a country and western song for you.
All right.
I didn't see it coming, but Stevie Wonder did.
Okay. All right. Thanks for the call, Mark.
I don't get it.
I didn't see it coming, but Stevie Wonder did. Is that a...
Oh,
Well,
that is so mean.
what?
Let's be respectful.
Stevie Wonder's blind. He's fine with it.
Shh, don't tell him. Do not tell him. It's too soon.
He's done very well for himself. He's good.
He's good. He's got this.
Don't feel
It's gonna
sorry
be okay?
for Stevie Wonder. He's fine. He's good. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we'll continue to take them all morning. And your lyrics, your favorite lyrics or your made-up lyrics, and trying to distinguish between the real lyrics and the fake lyrics in country is difficult. But Mark Zuckerberg at Harvard.
Did you say
You have to talk with your bottom draw.
What am I saying?
Yeah. You basically have to look like a bulldog when you talk with your bottom jaw protruding.
When you go to Harvard.
Zuckerberg went to Harvard, where he dropped out. And he sounded like a politician, so all this rumoring about Mark Zuckerberg running for president, I don't take it very seriously. But listen to this little riff and see if it doesn't remind you of anyone.
That movie made it seem like Face Smash was so important to starting Facebook. It wasn't. But without Face Smash, I never would have met Priscilla.
Face Smash.
No,
and Priscilla's the most important person in my life.
Is that his wife or his dog?
So you could still
That's his
say it was
wife.
the most important thing I built in my time here.
He's so romantic. He's never
We've
leaving
all
her.
started lifelong friendships here.
Yeah.
He loves her so much he married her the day after they went public, within hours.
Well, so what?
Well, because money-wise,
Money-wise, what?
Well, so she wouldn't get a piece of the pie.
Well, I think you've got it reversed. So he marries
married her
when they go public. So he becomes an instant multi-billionaire. Then he marries her.
No, he married her right before they went public.
Well, either way,
Well, they signed a prenup.
Well, either way, you think he married her to prevent her from running off with all of his Facebook money? I don't think
Yeah,
so.
did you see the movie? He's a little greedy. And you think that he's not running for president? He made a point to go to meet with 50 families in all 50 states and sit down and have dinner with them. And the family that he chose from Ohio just happened to have been registered Democrats who voted for Donald Trump.
There's such a thing as doing PR and branding for Facebook.
Oh, okay.
That's independent of running for public office. Go ahead and run for public office, Zuckerberg. I don't think he's going to do it. I think he knows better. But we'll see, because there's a lot of things he doesn't know better about. So his speech was creating a world where everyone has a sense of purpose. That was the theme. Creating a world where everyone has a sense of purpose. The way we do that, three ways. We do big, meaningful projects. We redefine, I love that word, especially coming from the left. We redefine equality.
Redefine equality?
To broaden it. And build community. Those are the three things, how we create a world where everyone has a sense of purpose. Big, meaningful projects.
And now it's our generation's turn to do great things. Now I know, maybe you're thinking, I don't know how to build a dam. I don't know how to get 1 million people involved in anything. Well, let me tell you a secret. No one does when they begin. Ideas don't come out fully formed. They only become clear as you work on them. You just have to get started. If I had to know everything about connecting people before I got started, I never would have built Facebook. Movies and pop culture just get this all wrong. The idea of a single eureka moment is a dangerous lie.
Well, I know we've got that's not the clip, but
I'm fascinated by this.
I mean, that's talking about entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything groundbreaking, but he's on point, of course. Kind of failing up, right? But he do big things. The big things that his generation can do: climate change. How about we end climate change before the world goes away? Cure all diseases.
That sounds nice.
Yeah. He's got. There's a lot of the kind of cotton candy you would hear from, I don't know, like this guy.
In this new world that we live in, we can't isolate ourselves. We can't hide behind a wall. And I think it's very important for us to see those investments.
Can't hide behind a wall.
When he was with Angela Merkel yesterday, I don't think he should have appeared with her. I thought it was disrespectful to President Trump. But anyway, he talked about how his hands were tied in Syria, that he wished he could have done more.
Can't
against
hide behind a
chemical
wall.
weapons.
Yeah.
Can't hide.
Yeah, now, so Zuckerberg reminded me of Obama, and Obama reminded me of somebody else.
Because I think as much, whatever we say behind people's backs, because the internet can be a little bit ruthless as far as fan bases go, but I think that the greatest thing we can do is just unite and love on each other, and no barriers, no borders. We all need to just coexist.
No barriers, no borders, can't hide behind a wall. You distinguish, is it President Obama, is it Katy Perry? Or is it Mark Zuckerberg?
It's
It's
the
difficult.
Same liberal gobbledygook. Yeah. No walls, equality for everyone. Actually, I'm all about equality, but I don't want to include many more people.
I'm about equality.
I'm all about equality, but who else do I have to include now? Transgender, transsexual.
Oh, I see. No, it's broadening equality to be kind of equality of outcome.
Oh.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
that's where we're going here.
Maybe I missed the message.
With Zuckerberg, yeah.
Listen to Dan and Amy on your smartphone. Download the AM 560 mobile app today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, we're going to discuss why the New England Patriots, the Super Bowl champs, decided to have a gay bowl. But first, here's your forecast today, Friday, where it's going to be nice this morning, but we're going to have a strong afternoon thunderstorm roll through here around 3:30, 4 o'clock this afternoon. A high of 75 degrees. Tomorrow, a chance of showers in the evening, a high of 78 degrees. Sunday, a chance of showers in the morning, a high of 77. And on Monday, we're going to have sunny skies with isolated scattered showers and thunderstorms. Let's get in now into our alarm detection systems traffic center. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy and Dan. If you're headed out to northwest Indiana or southwest lower Michigan, right now things look great on eastbound 8094 on the Indiana Toll Road and 94. But westbound 94 has delays from State Road 249 to the Indiana Toll Road, and that's due to road work. No issues to report on the outbound Edens or the northbound Tri-State heading up toward Wisconsin. Edens inbound getting a little congested approaching the junction. Inbound Kennedy, 22 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. Outbound still okay at 20. The Eisenhower, 38 minutes. Thorndale to the post office. Outbound 29. Stevenson, 49 minutes. 3:55 to the drive. Outbound it's clear. The Rhine is 22 minutes. 95th to downtown. Northbound Tri-State a little heavy at 290, but otherwise the Illinois tollways are fine and everything's wide open on I-80. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Deb, I'm so done with today. Traffic was awful. I couldn't stop for coffee. I have conference calls all morning, plus all these reports to go through. And look, it's 75 and sunny, and I'm stuck in here.
Relax. It's going to be an awesome day. Corporate is throwing a picnic in the parking lot for lunch, and they ordered tasty catering.
What? Did I miss the memo?
Apparently. It's going to be great. They got burgers, grilled chicken, sides, the works. You know, Tasty Catering's picnic food is excellent.
Oh, yeah, I know. We had them for our holiday party.
Today, they're bringing out the Make Your Own Burger Creation Station. They have everything you can think of, like sriracha, blue cheese crumbles, bacon, sautéed mushrooms, and caramelized onions. And they serve it straight off the grill, the way a great burger should be.
Okay, maybe there's still hope for today. I just hope I don't spill mustard on this new tie. Good thing I've got my bib.
You have a bib?
You don't?
Tasty Catering's picnic menu has all the delicious summertime food favorites you crave and more. Go to tastycatering.com to peruse mouth-watering picnic menus and start planning your picnic today. tastycatering.com.
I have actually been on Balance of Nature for a year now. I have MS, and I recently had an MRI. This is the first year that I've had a stable MRI, so I'm thrilled. When I have an MRI with MS, usually there are glowing spots that come through, which is damage on the nerves in my brain and my spinal cord, and when they're glowing, it means they're active. And then my last MRI, they pulled it up, and I honestly couldn't believe that it was my MRI. There was nothing glowing. And in fact, the dark spots were shrinking. They were healing. And the doctor actually said to me, I think we're in remission. I was so happy. I had no idea that that could be my reality.
The new challenge will allow you to receive 2 months of Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies free, and we'll even ship them to you free. Call now for details. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Chicago.
AM 560, The Answer.
You want more than just the headlines? Find out what's going on and what it means with me, Dennis Prager, this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
All right, we got more contributions to favorite country lyrics, as well as we're soliciting country concession song for Rob Quist, so he gets something out of running for Congress, too.
I think this is going to catapult his music career because we're listening to all his songs, and I like them. I want to download them on iTunes.
Favorite country lyric from 630, get your biscuits in the oven and your buns in the bedroom. It's pretty good. I don't know the song, but that's pretty good.
I'm sure that that's a song.
We were talking about commencement addresses.
Mm-hmm.
How about this one? Comes to us from Todd Starnes over at Fox. Aiken, Illinois.
Where's Aiken?
Southern Illinois.
Okay.
The graduation speech that one Seth Clark, age 13, was going to give for the Aiken grade school graduation.
That sounds nice.
Was pulled.
Why?
Because he referenced God and quoted from the Bible and mentioned his Christian faith. And it's a public school. The superintendent, Kelly Clark, said, as a public school, it is our duty to educate students regardless of how different they or their beliefs may be. Yeah. While students are welcome to pray or pursue their faith without disrupting school or infringing upon the rights of others, the United States Constitution prohibits the school district from incorporating such activities as part of school-sponsored events, and when the context causes a captive audience to listen or compels other students to participate. When it came time for the valedictorian and the salutatorian to deliver their speeches, they invited the audience to join them across the street at the house, said Becky Clark. It was not mandatory. That's Becky Clark, who owns a house across the street from the school, and invited Seth to deliver his speech on her property. Dozens of folks piled into the front yard of Becky Clark's home and listened to 13-year-old Seth deliver his address. It was the proudest moment of my life, said Becky Clark. He is more courageous at the age of 13 than I am at the age of 43. This is not an attention thing for him, said his mom. He just wanted to share what was on his heart about God. But the school said no. School right? School correct? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro, answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro, text line. And while you contemplate the answer to that question, Tom in Deer Park, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Oh, good morning, Dan and Amy. I have a contribution for a country song. It's kind of commentary. For you, I sing a sad, true song when conservative media went from right to wrong. What do you think?
For you, I sing a what song?
Country song.
For you, I sing a sad, true song.
Sad.
When conservative media went from right to wrong.
Okay. Thanks for the call, Tom. I think you could probably pen a duet with Rob Quist. Thanks. Appreciate that.
All right, but back to your story. So what if the student was Muslim and he was preaching about the Allah and how everyone should read the Quran and taking passages from the Quran and reading them? Would that be a problem?
How everyone should read the Quran? Is that what is at issue here? No. He referenced God, quoted for the Bible, and mentioned his Christian faith. He's talking about himself. As his mom said, he wanted to share what was on his heart about God. Here's the thing. Is this a constitutional issue, as the superintendent contends? I'm sure the atheists and the organized groups that represent them in litigating these matters would say yes, but they're wrong. It's not. It's not the establishment. There is no separation of church and state. Please educate your friends and colleagues and those in your circles of influence. There is no such thing as the separation of church and state, which is what the atheists talk about all the time. It's even the name of one of the foundations, the litigation foundations they use. The Establishment Clause is not separation of church and state. It is a prohibition against the establishment of a national religion. There is a chasm between those two, which is why religiosity in the public space is not prohibited. Not prohibited. We clear on that? Okay. So giving a, by the way, he was the salutatorian, not the valedictorian. He's number 2. But, the valedictorian and the salutatorian get to give a speech.
Right.
Yeah. You know that as both the valedictorian and a salutatorian during your matriculation at Hersey.
It was an honor student, but that did not.
Stevenson.
No, I didn't go to Stevenson. I went to John Hersey High School.
You wish you went to Stevenson.
Mush. No, I'm glad I didn't go to
Hersey. So
too big.
So that's one issue. Pulling his speech over the, and here's the other thing you're going to inevitably say, and we just talked about this with the Naperville North suicide case.
Mm-hmm.
What's the superintendent going to say? What's the school board going to say? What are the adults in charge of the school and the school system going to say? What are they going to use as their crutch? On advice of counsel. Oh, we wanted to not expose ourselves to litigation. The threat of litigation is the 21st century cop-out for adults to do things they know are wrong. But it protects them. So as long as trial lawyers... I mean, Philip Howard wrote this book, 15 years ago plus now, The Death of Common Sense. It died a long time ago. Now we're just seeing the manifestations of it all. Trial lawyers intimidate us into surrendering our freedoms. Turns adults into cowards, as the lady who held a makeshift ceremony so young Seth could give a speech on her front lawn. He's got courage. It's the adults, generally speaking, in these systems that are complete cowards. And they use faux concern about their fiduciary responsibility to cover their cowardice. Because it's very interesting. The fiduciary responsibility of most of these educrats is very narrow and limited. It's narrow and limited to controversies in which they have to take a moral stand, or even a constitutional one. But it doesn't extend to everything else that goes on in the school or the school district. I find that quite telling. Related story. How about this now from the other perspective? Don't say I'm cherry picking. Christian High School in Maryland defending its decision to ban a pregnant teen from her graduation ceremony in June, claiming she behaved immorally. Heritage Academy in Hagerstown, Maryland, sent a letter to parents Tuesday evening saying Maddie Runkles is being disciplined not because she is pregnant, but because she was immoral. The best way to love her right now is to hold her accountable for her morality that began this situation, said the principal, David Hobbs, of Heritage Academy, in a letter to the parents.
Shouldn't they be celebrating her, though, because she chose to keep the baby and not have an abortion?
She is keeping the child, and she should be respected and encouraged. I think she's exhibiting courage as well, just like young Seth, 13. She's 18. She feels she's being punished for choosing to carry out her pregnancy. She said even she considered an abortion to avoid sparking a controversy at the school. You're taught that it's wrong, and you know that it's wrong, and I never thought that I would consider it, but it was just the fear and what I've seen girls like me go through. She's a 4.0 student, but she broke the abstinence pledge that all Heritage Academy students are asked to sign every year. She owned up to it, informed the school of her pregnancy in February, was told she would be suspended for the rest of the year and removed from her role as the student council president. She was ultimately allowed to finish the school year, but she will not be allowed to walk in the graduation. What do you think of that? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro, answer line.
It's a tough life lesson, but she signed the pledge. I mean, and without rules, there's chaos. So if they made an exception for her, then that might encourage the next student next year to get pregnant.
Marvin in Lincolnshire, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, I live up in Wisconsin, and these crackpots are everywhere. My daughter and her friend are both going to have communion last May, and talking between the two of them at the recess on their own. Were approached by the teacher and told that they couldn't talk about that at school.
Thought crime.
At all. Pardon me?
Thought crime at school.
Well, they're their lack of common sense again.
Oh,
I mean,
it gets better. It gets better. These same crackpots tell them that they can't go out there and like little girls do and pick the dandelions because it's disturbing nature. Granted, these are probably the same dandelions that the janitors have been out there spraying with. But disturbing nature, picking dandelions, little girls aren't allowed to do. Needless to say, our daughter doesn't go to that school anymore.
Yeah.
Took her and put her in a faith-based school, and we're all better off for it.
Yeah.
But what's annoying about it is, I have to pay for that. I'm forced to pay for that kind of education for other people. It's outrageous.
Thanks for the call, Marvin, for sharing the story. I can understand your disgust with the situation. It's appropriate. I mean, and so we have
always talked about that on the playground.
Yeah,
my friend, what are you doing after school? I'm going to CCD. Okay. When's your communion?
Hey, those are.
Are you going to come to my communion, my confirmation party?
That's unconstitutional playground gossip.
I handed out invitations to my confirmation party at school. I wonder what would happen in this day and age.
Yeah. Yeah. You'd be shackled.
Miss Jacobson, please go to the principal's office.
So the establishment of a national religion, have we? How about paganism? How about the expungement of religion as the national religion? Or the replacement of paganism, which is just a different form of paganism. Mother Gaia is God, as Marvin was talking about. Environmentalism is the religion of the left. We've established that, trying to. Barbara on the north side.
Hi, Dan and Amy.
Yes.
It's great to talk to you. Love your show.
Thank you.
I have some more country lyrics for you.
Yeah, all right.
I've got tears in my ears from lying on my back crying over you.
Oh.
Wow. That's pretty good. That's vivid.
Yeah, because sometimes if you lie on your back and cry, the tears do drip in your ears.
I wouldn't know. What's the song?
Actually, I heard those lyrics a long time ago, and I don't know the source of them.
Okay.
But they stuck with me because I think I've been through it.
All right. Thanks for the call, Barbara. Appreciate it.
Crying helps you heal.
Lying on my back
with tears in my ears.
You know how that would have been. You know how that could have been a little bit better.
How?
I was lying supine with tears in my ears.
Oh my God!
Don't you think? Doesn't that sing better? Is that more melodic?
That's more Dan Proft-ish. Just keep it simple, Dan. That's why country songs are simple.
I was in
we don't have any big words.
Supine posture.
Supine twist. That's what we do in yoga.
Supine Twist was the name of my country cover band in the 80s. Dwight Yoakam. Dwight Yoakam cover band. Yeah. Be Fast as You. You should have heard me do Fast as You. It was incredible. Text from Larry Bodeker. Tweet, from Larry Bodeker.
Hi, Larry.
A country lyric. Mm-hmm. My wife ran off with my best friend, and I miss him. Phil on the northwest side.
Yeah, good morning, Dan and Amy. Just to add to the last caller,
awesome.
Cook County, we can't pick flowers either in the forest preserve, or they're going to ticket you and arrest you.
Really?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Well, yeah.
And you know what? The environmentalists said we will bypass every country's law system through environmental law. That's what they were talking about in the G20 and G200s. And all your listeners should pick up a copy of the New American magazine out of Appleton, Wisconsin. It would be very helpful to them.
All right, thanks for the call, Phil. Let me explain to you why, though, that you're not allowed to pick flowers in the Cook County Forest Preserve, because you're going to take away a job from an $85,000 a year idiot cousin of some Cook County politician who is the designated Cook County Preserve flower picker.
Well, remember when I went to McKinley Park Lagoon to try and save those fish?
Save the dead fish.
So some that were gasping for it, and I thought I could take them into the household and,
sure,
rehab them. And then, of course, I'd put them back in the lagoon. But they told me, no, it's Park District property.
Right.
I'm like, he's dying over it. The fish needs oxygen. They didn't care.
We got a guy in charge of that.
Oh, coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
All right, we're going to talk a little Illinois state politics, talk about the state budget impasse as we're nearing the end of this year's General Assembly legislative session. And we're going to do it from a bit of a different perspective, from the perspective of a social service provider. Mark McHugh, the president and CEO of Envision Unlimited, joins us at 6:36.
And later, was Kush hanging out with the Russians? We'll talk about that. But first, into the newsroom we go. Dave Stewart, who's in for Mike Scott.
Thanks, Amy. Thanks, Dan. 53 degrees in Chicago at 6:31 at AM 560. The Answer. From the Nissan of St. Charles newsroom, Nissan of St. Charles, home with the Lifetime Advantage warranty. Cloudy skies later today. You'll see a high of 72. Republican Greg Gianforte is the projected winner in that Montana special congressional election. In his acceptance speech, he addressed the altercation with the reporter the day before.
I took an action that I can't take back, and I'm not proud of what happened. I should not have responded in the way that I did, and for that, I'm sorry.
And you're forgiven.
Guardian reporter Ben Jacobs claimed Gianforte body slammed him the evening before the election. More than 20 people reported dead in Egypt after gunmen opened fire on a bus carrying Coptic Christians on a religious trip. The attack happened today in Minya, that's about 150 miles south of Cairo. A teacher at the Chicago Military Academy on the south side is accused of sexually assaulting a 16-year-old girl multiple times this year. Anthony Frontero was arrested in Elgin. An Illinois House committee has approved a bill to allow higher prison sentences for repeat gun offenders. Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson testified in favor of that measure.
These offenders are cycled through a criminal justice system with a severe lack of accountability for the crimes that they commit. They're released back to the streets so quickly that they see no reason to change their behavior.
The bill now goes to the full House. The Senate's already passed the measure. Governor Rauner says he favors it. The state is looking at a third straight year without a budget and $14 billion in unpaid bills. Still, investors think the state is a bargain. Bloomberg reports that Citigroup is strongly suggesting investors buy Illinois bonds. In sports, the Cubs over the Giants 5-1 Thursday. They're in L.A. to play the Dodgers tonight. The Sox host Detroit in a doubleheader. News and service of Napa Auto Parts. With quality auto parts and more than 90 years' experience, Napa Auto Parts can help keep just about anything on the road. So stop by your local Napa store and keep it running longer, stronger with Napa know-how. AM 560 News Time, 6:33. Traffic in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
Cabela's Memorial Day sale is going on now. Family events, amazing deals. Stop in and save this week at Cabela's in Hammond and Hoffman Estates.
If you're an unincorporated business owner, it's too late for you. That is, if you've already been sued and lost your home, your car, and your family's life savings. But if you haven't been sued yet, there is still time to incorporate and protect your personal assets. And if you do it right now, you can incorporate in just 10 minutes, because Incorporate.com is now giving away a free incorporation guide to all business owners. For your free 10-minute incorporation guide, call now. 1-800-400-4817. Incorporation is the shield that protects your personal assets. Without it, you could lose everything. That's why at Incorporate.com, they just make incorporating or forming an LLC quick and easy. They don't provide legal or financial advice. If someone sues tomorrow, will you lose everything? Don't wait until it's too late. Hurry and call now for your free 10-minute incorporation guide while they're still giving them away for free. Call 1-800-400-4817. That's 1-800-400-4817. 1-800-400-4817.
Growing up, your parents took care of your every need. Now you may be providing care for them. Are you worried about mom and dad living alone? Are they getting more forgetful or need help with daily activities? Why not consider a lifestyle that provides support services so they can enjoy as much independence as possible and maintain quality of life? Arboria of Long Grove is an all-new assisted living and memory care community, offering respectful assistance with activities of daily living and specialized memory care. The community features classically designed residential spaces, gracious hospitality services, amenities, and courteous, highly skilled staff to meet every need. Arboria of Long Grove is situated on 10 wooded and lushly landscaped acres off Route 53 in Long Grove. It's a vibrant yet peaceful environment filled with good neighbors, great social activities, and the finest in care. Schedule a tour today. Call 847-383-6737 or visit arboriaoflonggrove.com. That's arboriaoflonggrove.com.
At 6:35 from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, David. On the Edens inbound, traffic is heavy from Peterson to the junction. It's 21 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose. Outbound 23, there's a left lane closure before Winnetka Road for some emergency pavement work. Kennedy inbound, 27 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. Outbound 21. The Eisenhower is 40 minutes from Thorndale to the post office downtown. Outbound 30. Inbound Stevenson now 52 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 36. The Ryan is 22 minutes, 95th to downtown. Northbound Tri-State heavy from the Reagan tollway to the Eisenhower. The other tollways are good. Westbound 8094, it's slow from Grant to Burr. Traffic is a service of Lowe's. Pro customers at Lowe's save 5% on every purchase every day when you use your Lowe's Business Credit Account. That's 5% on all purchases in-store or online. Subject to credit approval, U.S. only. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
More of Chicago's Morning Answer next. Now, the forecast, a service of aircomfort.com, providing the right climate for business since 1935. Turning cloudy today, a shower or thunderstorm late this afternoon, high 72. Showers this evening, mostly cloudy with a low of 56. Partly sunshine tomorrow with a high of 77. Right now, it's 53 degrees at O'Hare. Next news, 7 o'clock. Get continuous coverage of the latest news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Now, more of Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Illinois Rising, hosted by Dan Proft and the Illinois Policy Institute. Sunday afternoons at 3 on AM 560, The Answer.
Your money. Find out how to keep more of it and live debt-free. Tonight on The Dave Ramsey Show, starting at 7 on AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. And so the Illinois state budget impasse persists. Senate Democrats have passed a $5 billion tax increase, increasing the state income tax by a third, increasing the state corporate income tax, increasing taxes on cable and satellite TV, increasing taxes on certain services, including landscaping and dry cleaning.
Cloud storage. You know, the cloud now, we're getting taxed for the cloud.
As we are in Chicago. That heads over to the House, but it's DOA, even if it were to pass the House, which I doubt it will, because why would Madigan put tax increase votes on his members that he needs to get reelected to maintain his power when he knows the governor's going to veto it? They will not be able to override the veto because it doesn't comport with what the governor wants, which is willing to do, which is property tax relief, spending reform in exchange for some revenue that the governor has indicated he would be open to. That's the broad outlines of a deal that he would accept. And with less than a week to go, they're, I don't think, really any closer to a budget deal than they have been for the past 6 months. And so the perspectives on what this means, both public sector and private sector. We've mentioned the impacts on the private sector. There's a lot of focus by the Chicago and Springfield press corps on the government sector, crisis in the government sector, and they're real. And they're worthy of consideration for the things that government provides, from K through 12 to higher ed to social services. We spend a lot of time trying to provide some balance by also including the crisis going on with people who don't work in government and have seen opportunities for jobs and work dry up in this city and state, with the highest black unemployment in Chicago in the country, any city in the country. And, of course, Illinois being the worst rated in terms of credit rating state in the nation, and the largest unfunded pension liabilities, and the largest overall state and local tax burden, and what that means for job creators, and what that means for middle-income families all paying the highest property taxes in the nation, seeing their home equity stolen.
Not to mention, yesterday's Census Bureau came out. We lost population for a third consecutive year. Chicago.
Right.
Mostly African-American families that are moving to Atlanta, to Dallas. They're moving anywhere just to get out of the city.
Well, and of course, Illinois had been hemorrhaging population for some time, leading the nation in exodus and out-migration. And by the way, that's being driven by millennials, not seniors, which is even more disturbing because, of course, that's the future leadership, the future innovators, the future workers. the revenue generators, since the state and the political ruling class so focused on generating revenue from other people's labor. Well, when millennials leave and you're disproportionately a population that is founded on those living on fixed incomes in retirement, you're getting yourself in a bit of a sticky wicket. So here's the thing. When government fails, when it implodes, is happening in this state, all the civic institutions, private and public, falter. And that's the story of Illinois. And so it needs some balance that you don't get in those other mainstream, quote-unquote mainstream Chicago, Springfield press outlets that we provide here. But we also want to provide the social service provider perspective. I'm on the board of a social service provider that serves the developmentally and intellectually disabled. It's called Envision Unlimited. You were there. You joined us for our little gala dinner the other week.
Sat with the volunteers, met people who work there and who benefit from Envision.
It's one of many great organizations that serve persons who we all believe should be served because they need services through no fault of their own. And there are many, many great organizations in Chicago and throughout the state of Illinois that do this. Envision is one of them. It's the one I'm affiliated with, and I want to disclose that because our next guest is Mark McHugh, who's the president and CEO of Envision Unlimited in Chicago, but serving the state. Mark, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Dan. Thanks, Amy.
So, just give us the kind of drill down on where social service providers find themselves. I know your vision is much broader than just Envision in terms of your relationships with leaders of other social service organizations. So kind of paint a picture for our listeners with respect to service providers who provide quality services for people who need those services through no fault of their own, where there's unanimity that, for example, people with disabilities should be getting services, and what's happening to them in Illinois.
Sure. Social service providers across the state have been in a great deal of fiscal pain for some time. Not having a budget means not having, the resources, the predictable resources to be able to operate the nonprofit business. And like any other business, you have to have money coming in order to spend it on services going out. So in the disabilities world, it's particularly problematic. The crisis is starting to crumble the system. And think about it, over the last 9 years, there's been zero increase in funding for developmental disabilities, right? Flat rates, and in the face of, over that time, 16% inflation. So you can't continue to operate, and there aren't enough costs to cut to be able to make up for that loss of earning power, loss of dollar power. So late payments, just kind of generally across the state, late payments, stagnant funding, in some cases decreases in funding or elimination of funding means services going away. And in the developmental disabilities field, it's at a crisis point, and people are losing services. Agencies are in such a great deal of pain that they have stopped doing some services and are making crisis plans for eliminating programs. And that's really where we are.
And you mentioned, I just want to stick on this one aspect of a lot of what you mentioned there. 16 years without a rate increase for employees?
9 years without a rate increase, and over that time, inflation's been 16%.
Oh, right. Yeah, excuse me, 9 years. Okay, so 9 years with the wages frozen. And so there's legislation in Springfield that would address this, and I wanted you to have an opportunity to weigh in on that, because it may sound to people who hear all the stories about the unpaid bills and the debt and the deficits and all of the financial struggles of the state, and talking about increasing funding in this one aspect, Senate Bill 955, which would increase the rates for direct care professionals who work for social service providers like Envision. And essentially, by implication, what you're essentially suggesting is the rate increase, one, is long overdue, and number two is necessary for social service providers to attract people that will be with them long term to serve their clients.
That's right, Dan. And in fact, it's necessary for us for our programs to survive in the way that we're doing it now. So consider that across Illinois, the wages for direct support professionals, those are the people who do work directly with people with disabilities, that their starting wage is $9.35 an hour. And you compare that to, what you can make at Walmart or an Amazon warehouse or pretty much anywhere else, 13 and up. And you can, you would be able to understand the staffing problems that happen in agencies. So there are organizations, ours, for example, with 29% turnover per year, 35 positions open at any one particular time. There are agencies with 40 to 50% open positions at any one time, and annual turnover of almost half. So that's clearly not sustainable. It not only creates a poor quality of life for the people that we care for, but creates dangerous situations because you don't have enough people on hand to do the work.
Gosh, and I've been seeing these signs pop up all around our neighborhood that says home health care providers needed. You start now, start today, and they're all over the place on the northwest side.
Well, that's right. It's the same, right? That's because people are leaving the field of caring for other people because they can't make their own ends meet at home. They can't support their families on poverty level wages, and so that over time. There's so much caring that people do, and believe me, our direct support professionals care deeply for the people that they're working with. These aren't just 9-to-5 jobs.
Yeah, I can attest to that. So here's the thing: the mandates that we talk about that emanate from Springfield, we usually talk about in the context of how they impact private sector for-profit businesses. But of course, mandatory minimum wage levels, workers' comp costs. They affect social service providers too. I mean, you're not insulated from economic forces and state and local mandates. And so with the city phasing in a spike in the minimum wage, in addition to the state not really doing anything to quell workers' comp costs or make them comparable to the states around us, how does that impact what you and other social service providers do in terms of trying to provide those quality programs?
Sure. Right, minimum wage is going up to $11 an hour on July 1st, and so we have to pay that one way or the other, right? So that's happening. Those costs are increasing over the next 2 years. Maybe less than that. The minimum wage is going up to $13 an hour without any revenue support behind it. So for us, that means that between now and then, we're going to have to figure out how to, raise every year an extra $1.5 million. Now, I don't know where that's coming from at this point, but that's what's going to be required just to pay our folks. Do they deserve that? Yeah, they deserve that and more. But we need we're not allowed to raise our prices.
Right, and because it's Medicaid,
Right, it's
Medicaid price controls. And so here's the thing about this, too. This is an important part. I want to make sure people understand that this is not sort of like kind of a la carte services that are premium level. These we're talking about the population that Medicaid was originally envisioned to care for. That's the original vision of Medicaid, was in part persons with disabilities. And when you talk about the state owing you money, Mark, and kind of state fed combined, which is what the Medicaid program is, you're talking about for services that are provided pursuant to federal and state law and federal and state generated programs. It's not like this is Shady Acres and these are wealthy individuals and these are premium kind of enhanced services that are being provided.
No, that's absolutely right. I mean, consider what our direct support professionals do for people. Basic skills of daily life. They help them to do, meal preparation. They help people to, learn life skills so they can become more independent, like for example, how to manage their money. They help them take the right medication at the right time. So that's not just help with basic stuff. It's assistance to keep them healthy and prevent taking the wrong medication. Help them develop job skills so they get a job. And in the most severe cases, help them with very basic things like eating, bathing, and going to the bathroom.
So as Trump Care stands right now, would that hurt you or help you?
I'm sorry,
It's Trump Care, not Trump Care, but the repeal and replace of Obamacare.
Well, that's changed so much. We're really not sure what's in it at this point. But when I listen to reports about major cuts in Medicaid, that can't be a good thing.
Well, at the state level, what is it? Going back to the legislation that's pending with a week to go in the legislative session, what would Senate Bill 955 do, and what would it mean? You're not going to solve, and we're not going to solve this crisis to go from this terrible place we're at now to a great place with one piece of legislation. But what would this legislation mean in terms of at least providing a reprieve, some breathing room, some operating space?
Well, that's absolutely right. So Senate Bill 955 would require the state to provide us with rates that would allow us to pay direct support professionals $15 per hour. That creates the predictable and adequate funding to do the basic jobs that we're expected to do.
And Senate Bill, and that legislation is passed the Senate. It's out of committee and pending in the House, right?
It is. It passed the Human Services Appropriation Committee on Wednesday, and hopefully we'll get a third reading, get out of the House, and even more hopefully, the governor will sign it.
And to do that wage increase, just to be clear, since Medicaid is a joint federal-state program, it would be joint federal and state money that would go to pay the increment that we're talking about.
Now, that's the beauty of it, is that half of it gets paid by the federal government.
Okay, he is Mark McHugh, President and Chief Executive Officer at Envision Unlimited, a nonprofit based in Chicago that serves persons in Illinois with developmental and intellectual disabilities. And hopefully, maybe under a rock somewhere in Springfield, we can find a little bit of money for direct support professionals in these social service providers. Mark, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
And he joined us on our Turnkey.pro answer line.
The stories you need to know to start your day. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
I'm Keith Peters in for Lou Dobbs. Mortgage rates just dropped again, and President Trump wants to raise billions by selling stockpiles from our strategic oil reserve. Those stories next.
Are you being intimidated by the IRS? Rapid Resolution Tax Group is a team of tax attorneys, enrolled agents, and tax professionals who've helped thousands of people with problems just like yours. And they promise not to let the IRS intimidate you. If you are an individual or business who owes at least $10,000 to the IRS, you can turn to them for help. Has your bank account been levied? Do you have years of unfiled tax returns? Let Rapid Resolution Tax Group intervene for you. They're accredited with and A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they guarantee same-day contact with the IRS. If you qualify, Rapid Resolution Tax Group can work towards settling your tax debt for less, removing penalties and fees, and stopping levies and garnishments. Call the professionals at Rapid Resolution Tax Group at 800-601-2929. That's 800-601-2929.
Freddie Mac says the average 30-year mortgage rate in the U.S. has just dropped to 3.95%, the lowest so far for 2017. The 15-year rate fell to 3.19%. Among the economic reports due out this final morning before the Memorial Day weekend, an update on durable goods orders and the Commerce Department's report on the first quarter gross domestic product. President Trump is proposing to sell nearly half of the United States' strategic oil stockpiles due to the ongoing oil production boom. The president says sales of the oil would generate over $16 billion during the next decade. Yale University workers have removed a shelter set up by protesting graduate students, upset that the school won't negotiate with their union. Please join us for Lou Dobbs tonight at 7 and 11 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. I'm Keith Peters for the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
I got an idea, by the way, too, in terms of funding this bill we were just talking about.
Yeah.
How about getting rid of EDGE tax credit, this rent-seeking picking of winners and losers that's done at the state level, with that they call an economic development tool. Getting rid of picking winners and losers, using resources for that, and fund an increase in the rate for people who provide services we all think should be provided. What about that?
That's a great idea.
Thank you very much.
Head over to Springfield. Another great idea is if you weren't happy with your child's school this year, a public school didn't like it, why not send your kid to a private school this fall? And you could do so thanks to our good friends over there at halfpriceschools.com. At halfpriceschools.com, you can find a local private school from all over the Chicagoland area, including Northwest Indiana. You can go to Romeoville, LaSalle, Peru. There's private schools in Chicago, Arlington Heights, just to name a few, that are offering a full year of tuition at half the price with no catch. Find a school near you, purchase the tuition voucher, and prepare to send your child off to school this fall. It's really simple, but these vouchers always sell out. So do it sooner rather than later. Visit halfpriceschools.com today. That's halfpriceschools.com.
Hey, did you know that the cell phone you're holding right now is likely supporting the liberal agenda of Nancy Pelosi and Bernie Sanders? It's true. Most of the big cell phone companies contribute to the pro-abortion agenda, gun control, and open borders. That's why you should use that cell phone in your hand and call 1-800-A-PATRIOT to switch to Patriot Mobile, the nation's only conservative cell phone company. Patriot Mobile offers the same great nationwide coverage you're used to, the newest cell phones, and they'll even buy out your current contract with credits up to $500 per line or $1,500 per account. And when you switch to Patriot Mobile, they'll donate up to 5% of their monthly proceeds to the conservative cause of your choice at no extra cost to you. You can bring your number and your phone or get new ones. Call 1-800-A-PATRIOT right now to get a plan and device that fits your needs, or go to patriotmobile.com/Joe. Use promo code Joe and they'll waive the activation fee. 1-800-A-PATRIOT or patriotmobile.com/Joe. Promo code Joe.
My name is David Hochberg, Vice President Lending at Pearl Mortgage. If you're purchasing a home, give me a call. A borrower called me after contacting the lender, who boasts about having the lowest rates and closing costs, because he thought my competitors' closing costs were excessively high. I compared loan estimates and the interest rates were identical, but our definitions of low closing costs were a lot different. Fact is, my closing costs were over $1,000 less than the lender claiming to have the lowest closing costs. When purchasing a home, you can either work with the lender, who talks and talks and talks and talks about low closing costs, or you can work with me, a lender who actually has low closing costs. Then think of all the things you could do with an extra $1,000 when we originate your loan, like pay for the movers, buy a new computer, new TV, maybe new carpet for your new house.
I've helped thousands of AM 560 listeners, but I can't help if you don't call 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage, an equal housing lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee 4358, and MLS 19186.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity, sponsored by Upstream-Ideas.com. President Trump's victory produced a plethora of leftist think pieces plotting their escape from their coastal bubbles, so they're never so blindsided again. After a 6-month probationary period, can we finally dismiss as disingenuous their intellectual curiosity? During that time, the left has written more Russian fiction than Boris Pasternak. The budding totalitarians on college campuses have attacked professors, shouted down the education secretary, and argued that white men do not enjoy First Amendment rights. In Chicago, a group of nasty women hosted an art exhibit fundraiser for Planned Parenthood featuring an anti-Trump painting stained with the vaginal blood from the artist. In Phoenix, the city used taxpayer dollars to help finance a billboard depicting Trump as a money-grubbing Nazi. Storied MIT linguistics professor Noam Chomsky claimed recently that the Republican Party is the greatest threat to mankind's survival in the history of the world. I don't see much common ground to be forged here, and frankly, I'm not terribly interested in indulging lunacy. If I'm a deplorable, then they are the unsalvageables. I say we let them stay scrolled away in their bubbles, and we pop them again in November of 2018.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up, President Trump telling world leaders to pay up. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Dave Stewart in for Mike Scott.
Thanks, Amy. Among the stories we're watching, state lawmakers are closer to approving higher penalties for repeat gun offenders, and a federal jury has convicted the operator of a West Side nonprofit. Those stories after Fox News on WIND Chicago.
Fox News Radio. I'm Dave Anthony. Hours after he was accused of beating a reporter in his office, Greg Gianforte beats a Democrat at the polls.
I'm going to Washington to get things done.
to drain the swamp. Gianforte won the special election for Montana's only House seat. Most people had voted early before the altercation that left the Republican charged with misdemeanor assaults.
I should not have responded in the way that I did. And for that, I'm sorry.
Gianforte apologized to Ben Jacobs, the reporter who says he was body slammed while trying to ask questions. Attorney General Sessions says he'll take President Trump's blocked executive order restricting travel from 6 countries deemed terrorists to the Supreme Court after an appeals court decision.
The key issue here is the pause on travelers coming from Muslim-majority nations about religion or about national security. Well, the top judges in Richmond, Virginia, saying that it drips with religious intolerance, animus, and discrimination.
Fox's Rob Schmidt. President Trump tweets he's made and saved the U.S. billions of dollars and millions of jobs on his foreign trip. He's now meeting with world leaders in Sicily, where Fox's Simon Owen is live.
Dave, the president meeting with Japan's prime minister, with North Korea top of the agenda.
It's a big problem. It's a world problem. And it will be solved. At some point, it will be solved. You can bet on that.
This on the sidelines of a G7 summit. The leaders of 7 wealthy nations gathered here to talk trade, security and climate change. The White House saying the president is interested in what leaders have to say about the Paris Climate Accord, which President Obama signed up to and President Trump is considering leaving. Dave?
Simon, Coptic Christians again attacked in Egypt. Masked gunmen started shooting them on a bus traveling to a monastery, killing at least 26 people, children among them. A convicted killer got a lethal injection early this morning in Alabama. Tommy Arthur's last words to his kids: "I'm sorry I failed you as a father." Nicknamed Houdini, Arthur had cheated death 7 prior times, winning last-minute execution appeals. Fox News Radio, Farron Bell.
Good morning. 53 degrees in Chicago at 7:02 on AM 560, The Answer. I'm David Stewart from the Nissan of St. Charles newsroom. Nissan of St. Charles, home of the Lifetime Advantage Warranty. An Illinois House committee has voted to approve a bill backed by Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson that would mean longer prison sentences for repeat gun offenders.
If an individual shows a repeated willingness to pick up a gun and use it illegally, those individuals need to pay a price with a sentence at the higher end of the existing sentencing range.
That bill now goes to the full House. It's already passed the Senate. The Chicago Sun-Times reports, meanwhile, that Johnson's son will donate a kidney to his dad. The surgery is tentatively set for next month. Johnson has suffered from kidney disease for years. No one's in custody after an elderly man and woman were attacked during a home invasion and robbery on the northwest side. Police say someone broke into the home late last night in the 5400 block of West Henderson Street and hit the victims in their faces. The suspect then grabbed a purse and ran out of the house. The man and woman are hospitalized in good condition. The federal jury has convicted the head of a West Side nonprofit for misusing state grant money intended for summer training jobs. Fran Sean Miles was accused of using the $60,000 to keep her struggling organization afloat and to make political contributions. A Cook County judge is refusing to toss out murder charges against the Chicago police officer who shot Laquan McDonald. Van Dyke's attorney argued that political pressure caused by the release of video showing the teenager's shooting in 2014 pushed the prosecutors to charge the officer with murder. In sports, Cubs over the Giants Thursday, 5-1. They're in L.A. to play the Dodgers tonight. The Sox host Detroit in a doubleheader. The news and service of Lowe's. Pro customers at Lowe's, you can save 5% on every purchase every day when you use your Lowe's Business Credit Account. That's 5% on all purchases in-store or online, subject to credit approval, U.S. only. AM 560 News Time 7:04. Time to check the climate of your business with aircomfort.com, providing the right climate for business since 1935. Traffic in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
Need a new CPAP? Then we need you. We're CPAP.com, and we recently overstocked the world's best CPAP machines. Top-of-the-line devices from brands like ResMed and Philips Respironics. Call now and get one of these overstocked CPAPs for a fraction of the price. We'll even give you free next-day air shipping. Call 1-800-500-5671. The best part? No insurance needed. We're giving out these CPAPs at prices so low, they'll cost less than your copay and deductible through insurance. CPAP.com has shipped over 1 million orders and has the world's largest selection of CPAPs and accessories. With no retail overhead or costly middlemen, we're the best way to get comfortable, effective sleep apnea equipment at incredibly low prices. Again, CPAP.com has overstocked premium CPAPs. Call now to get a ResMed or Philips Respironics machine for a fraction of the price with free next-day air shipping. Call 1-800-500-5671. Hurry, When these overstocked CPAPs are gone, they're really gone. That's 1-800-500-5671.
Summer involves a lot of driving to camp, to work, to soccer, back home to grab what they forgot, and then back to soccer again. So wouldn't you like to know your car is up for it? Enter Hum by Verizon. Now you can check your car's health from your phone with vehicle diagnostics, drive with more peace of mind thanks to 24/7 emergency assistance, and let the kids stream and game on the go with your car's own Wi-Fi hotspot. Get Hum and get where you're going. Learn more at hum.com. Verizon Wi-Fi available on Hum X only. Data usage applies. Coverage not available everywhere. Visit vzw.com for availability.
The Can-Am Spyder Ready to Ride sales event is here. Shop now and experience the thrill and freedom of the open road this summer. Can-Am Spyder's unique Y-frame design lets you take on every twist and turn with stability and comfort. Hop on one and turn every day into an adventure. Shop now and save up to $3,500 on select 2016 models. Find your ultimate thrill ride at a great price.
Visit iMotorsports in Elmhurst or online at iMotorsportsInc.com.
Offer ends soon. Restrictions may apply. See dealer for details.
At 7:06 from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, David. Eastbound 8094, we're seeing roadwork delays now from past Central Avenue to Ripley. Westbound at Stop and Go from Grant to Burr. The toll road is fine. Edens, inbound 20 minutes. Lake Hook to Montrose. Outbound 35. It's knotted up from Peterson to Winnetka Road with what's being called emergency pavement repairs blocking the left lane. Kennedy inbound 31 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. Outbound the same, the Eisenhower. 46 minutes, Thorndale to the post office. Outbound 34. Stevenson, an hour and 2 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. 52 minutes from the Tri-State. Outbound 39 minutes to 355. Ryan is 23 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 18 minutes, I-80 to the merge. Bishop Ford, 17. Northbound Tri-State, Stop and Go, Plainfield Road to 47th. And from the Reagan Tollway to the Eisenhower. Veterans Memorial, heavy 63rd to the Reagan Tollway. The other tollways are delay-free. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
More of Chicago's Morning Answer next, but now the forecast, a service of aircomfort.com, providing the right climate for business since 1935. Here's meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Turning cloudy today with a late afternoon shower or thunderstorm, high 72. Couple of showers still around for the evening, otherwise a mostly cloudy night, low 56. Tomorrow, clouds and sun, high 77. Late night rain and a thunderstorm tomorrow night, low 59. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Lakefront temperature 57 degrees. It's 58 at Midway and O'Hare. Next, News 730. Get continuous coverage of the latest news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Chicago's Morning Answer continues now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Power Trading Radio. Heard Sundays at 2 p.m. Brought to you each week by Online Trading Academy.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So Trump went to NATO like a boss. I mean, that speech. Wow.
Hey, everybody.
That was fun.
Check your pockets. I'm going to send out the coffer around. Everybody put some money in it.
Rocco Moose, help President Merkel find her wallet. Donald Trump meeting with heads of state, European NATO allies at the lovely palatial new NATO headquarters, which the president commented upon.
Because don't we fund 70% of NATO? So pretty much it's his building, right? I mean, technically, kind of.
Yeah. I paid for this building. I paid for this dais. I paid for this microphone. I'm going to speak my piece. And did he?
I have been very, very direct with Secretary Stoltenberg and members of the alliance in saying that NATO members must finally contribute their fair share and meet their financial obligations. But 23 of the 28 member nations are still not paying what they should be paying and what they are supposed to be paying for their defense. This is not fair to the people and taxpayers of the United States.
Talking to you, Macron.
And many of these nations owe massive amounts of money from past years and not paying in those past years. 2% is the bare minimum for confronting today's very real and very vicious threats. And I never asked once what the new NATO headquarters cost. I refuse to do that.
So
but it is
gracious.
beautiful.
So it's nicer than Mar-a-Lago. I was Italian marble, sure, on my dime.
Is that Kohler in the bathroom?
Yeah, why
with
not?
granite?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Top of the line stuff
I
here,
love
boys
the drapes.
and girls.
I never asked.
Tell you, that
Who paid for it?
American money spends good, don't it?
Who got the contract for this bad boy? No, it was great because the world leaders that were up on stage with them, they looked a little scared. They looked around like, where's my checkbook? And he's on to us.
312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. Trump a little too aggressive or Trump right on point? That's the point he made during the campaign with respect to NATO. That was
that we're getting robbed. Taxpayers, Americans are getting robbed because we're funding close to 70% of NATO.
So that's the point he made, and he was
Yes.
ridiculed by the D.C. press corps. And a lot of the foreign policy establishment suggested that, oh my gosh, the idea that threatening, he's essentially threatening to pull out of NATO. And this just after, 16 years ago when we had our first Article 5 invocation of an attack on one is an attack on all, and everybody rallied around America after 9/11. And that's true, that happened. But this is dangerous, and he's unstable and all those things. Well, he put it to him. I mean, it wasn't Reagan to Gorbachev at the Brandenburg Gate, but it was to them in their presence. And so for those who thought that Trump was just jawboning on the campaign trail at rallies and he wouldn't have the temerity to deliver those messages to the intended targets, well,
message delivered.
He did at NATO. He also did in Riyadh. So this is twice on this trip that he has put it to principles that needed it put to them. The speech in Saudi Arabia, by the way, let's just recall, has been received very well by many, many Trump detractors, with the notable exception of Richard Clark. But a good piece, direct your attention to New York Daily News by former CIA Director James Woolsey, says this: the starkness of the Obama-Trump contrast was one most commentators noticed. He's mainly talking about his speech in Riyadh. We should all appreciate the fact that we now have a president who is straightforward, that he's at war with radical Islamists, a fact he's not going to soft pedal. Unlike the last 8 years under the Obama administration, when the commander-in-chief's hesitancy to lead the world hobbled American action on too many fronts, there's no doubt we now have a president who wants to fight and win this war. Trump's assertiveness in repairing U.S. foreign policy, shoring up international resolve against terrorism, can rally the world to take strong action against the enemy. And as much as it was, the headline was about Trump calling them out for what they're not owning up to in terms of their share of keeping this alliance afloat, the focus of his speech was on terrorism and a related topic, open borders and immigration policy. And he laid it straight on those topics to those leaders as well.
Yeah, and he reminded them that our tax dollars are going to support NATO.
This is not fair to the people and taxpayers of the United States. Our NATO allies responded swiftly and decisively.
Yeah, so the CNN this morning was saying he should be more appreciative of NATO because when something happens, such as 9/11, our allies run to our aid, run to our side to help us.
Jimmy on the Edens has a deal you can't refuse for us. Hey, Jimmy.
Hey, how you doing? You know, I don't know if this is good for Trump, but he sounded like Hyman Roth in The Godfather. First he says, I don't know what this cost. I didn't ask no questions. And, when he was talking to Michael about Mo Green getting killed. And then when he says about the money, he goes, I hope they pay their money. It's like when he was in Cuba and hopes that briefcase with the $2 million is there when he wakes up. So I don't think he's going to be very happy with the results, put it that way.
Thanks for the call, Jimmy.
But he laid down the gauntlet. I mean, he laid down the hammer that you guys are going to have to start paying up 2%. bare minimum.
Don't make him do something he doesn't want to do.
Now, was this before or after he pushed in front of the Prime Minister of Montenegro? I need to get in front. That was classic.
Hey, get Montenegro, you just got here. Back of the line. Vujovic.
But he pushed him through, and then he straightened his jacket and then acted like as if nothing happened.
Hey,
what do you got? Bada boom, bada bing.
Hey, who are these old Mama Lukes? Yay. Hey, little space. Jeff and Gurnee, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
Thanks for calling.
You know, ever since World War II, we've basically been branded as the world policeman. And unfortunately, it's come to bite us in the butt in the sense that in the past 30 years, more so, terrorism as a proxy, we've been bled dry, literally and financially. But we've put ourselves in this position, and anything that goes wrong, everybody looks to us. And the American taxpayer is the one that's basically bearing the burden for helping everybody. And I appreciate Trump and sticking up for us. And I'll hang up and listen to your call. Have a great weekend, a great Memorial Day weekend. And apologize for being nervous, but, it's always on the radio.
Oh, you sound fine. No worries.
Thanks for the call,
from living
Jeff.
in Spain, everybody hates us until they need us.
Well, here's the thing about the speeches both in Riyadh and at NATO World HQ, which is very nicely appointed.
Who's the architect?
The point is, Trump knows who his audience is. His audience isn't those surrender monkeys of those European heads of state like Macron or Merkel. His audience isn't the Muslim leaders that were in Riyadh. It's in part them, but his real audience is the American people. Is all of those families across this country that revolted against the political elites, the world government types, the internationalists, and said, represent our interests here and abroad. That's his audience. And if he loses that audience, then he loses his political leverage to pass a policy agenda in addition to potentially losing control of the Congress and being a one-term president. So the quality of the speech is very good, textured, thoughtful, substantive. But importantly, and this is something, frankly, locally, if we're talking about the governor's race here, that's part of Bruce Rauner's problem, he forgot who his audience is. Trump, if he from time to time forgets who his audience is, when he gets in these back and forth contests with members of the D.C. press corps, he didn't on this trip. And I think it's going to be to his benefit and to our benefit, more importantly. Ralph and Rantoul, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, good morning. If we want to pay for this stuff, finally really pay for it, foreclose on Greece, sell them off island by island, take the cash, pay for some things, and, no more free ride, no more free biscotti and digestives that are served with the espressos all across Europe. Take the 25% of the Spanish males that are shuffling about on the dole and say, look, we're going to have the equivalent of the European Conservation Corps. Get back to work, clean up Europe, rebuild things, and say, pay for it. We're going to make you pay for it. Maybe we put in a temporary toll booth across the Straits of Gibraltar, and put a fast pass so as the ships go under there, they just get docked straight to their account. We can make them pay for it. It's just going to be unpleasant, and nobody likes doing the vulgar work of telling people they're delinquent on their bills. And, when somebody does that, it gets condemnation from people like, oh, how can you be so ugly about that? Yeah, well, some of my clients, they don't like making calls for their accounts receivable. Well, if you don't like getting paid, then you don't like making those calls.
Thanks for the call, Ralph. And, compare the bill collector in chief, to build off Ralph, to President Obama, who was with Merkel in Germany. Yeah, and taking questions from the audience. And
so nice. Oh, the chosen one has returned to Germany.
All right, and given his romper room answers about the world.
In this new world that we live in, we can't isolate ourselves. We can't hide behind a wall. And I think it's very important.
Or is that what we're doing? Is that what anybody's proposing, hiding behind a wall? It seems like President Trump isn't hiding behind a wall. He's doing an international, and it ain't an apology tour, I'll tell you that. So President Obama, now to try and distinguish President Obama from this deep-thinking foreign policy intellect.
Because I think as much, whatever we say behind people's backs, because the internet can be a little bit ruthless as far as fan bases go, but I think that the greatest thing we can do is just unite and love on each other, and no barriers, no borders. We all need to just coexist.
Yeah.
Can she stop saying
Coexist.
It's like
no borders,
yeah,
no barriers. I mean, she literally sounds like a Democrat member of Congress.
Yeah.
She sounds, it's not dissimilar to what President Obama says.
No, just the same thing, but she threw in a bunch of likes and
And the she is Katy Perry, by the way. Sentimental barbarian pop singer, sentimental barbarian president of the United States.
Just misguided.
Meaning Barack Obama. Just coexist. We talked about this in the wake of the reactions to Manchester, all the togetherness. But the togetherness for what, and to get the togetherness against what?
It's all going to be fine. Queen Elizabeth visited victims yesterday in the hospital, and the Mylar balloon and flower display is getting bigger.
Joseph in Oak Forest.
Yeah, every earthquake season, we're sending our aircraft carriers to these islands to help save them, and all these NATO companies are just watching us and not kicking in. We've been getting screwed over for years.
Thanks for the call, Joseph. George and Moni.
Hey, Dan. Hey, Amy. NATO is insurance, okay? Now, in my life, I have car insurance and building insurance and all that stuff, and if I don't pay for it, I don't have it anymore.
Mm-hmm. That's a simple concept. You're right. Yeah, it's a fair analogy. Thanks, George. Sean in Elmwood Park.
Hi, Sean.
How is demanding countries blindly give a percentage of their GDP sticking up for America? You want to answer that?
Yeah, I'll answer that. Are you going to? Excuse me. I'll answer that. This is a. Do you understand the concept of a contract? So this is an agreement between countries to pay a percentage.
Well, yeah, but they signed the contract, and then we need the money.
Well, it's not even we need the money. You're going to abide the terms of the contract you signed to analogize it to a private contract, because that's what we're doing here in an alliance of governments, Sean. So, no, you're wrong, and you're not a grown-up, and you need to stop screaming about everything that is equally offensive to you. Learn a concept called modulation. You cannot be as upset about the United States demanding that European NATO allies pay what they promised to pay, or jaywalking as you are about nuclear holocaust. Rank order priority some of your outrage, Sean from Elmwood Park.
Connect with Dan and Amy using the AM560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
The secret to how the rich keep getting richer is by passing down their wealth, generation to generation. If you do the same thing, you'll be leaving a legacy and be doing one of the most important things possible for the people you love. The ugly truth is, you don't have an estate plan. Everything you own, including your house, cars, investments, everything could be tied up in courts for a year or longer. It could cost your estate tens of thousands of dollars in probate and legal fees, even double government taxation. You can avoid this painful, costly mistake by contacting Tom Fortino of the Alpha Wealth Group. Tom hosts the Alpha Wealth Hour, heard Saturday mornings at 9 on AM 560, and has been a featured expert on Fox Business, Fortune, and Money Magazine. Right now, Alpha Wealth Group is offering you a free estate planning kit if you call 630-873-6326. That's 630-873-6326. 630-873-6326. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Wealth Advisors, Inc.
Hey, you hear me talk about MyPillow all the time. That's because a good night's sleep is so very important to our health and well-being. And for the month of May, you can still receive the 50% discount on the MyPillow 4-pack. 2 premium MyPillows, 2 go anywhere MyPillows, all for the price of 1. You get a 10-year warranty, a 60-day money-back guarantee if you're not happy, but I know you will be happy. And our friend Mike Lindell makes the MyPillow right here in America using only American labor. Nothing to lose. So for the month of May, get the 50% off the 4-pack by calling 800-489-0201. Use the promo code Amy or visit MyPillow.com. That's 800-489-0201. Promo code Amy.
We hadn't talked. We didn't want to touch. I mean, we didn't feel close in years. But Marriage Fitness turned our marriage around. Thank you so much, Mort.
Counseling was just a weekly blame fest. It drained us emotionally and financially. Marriage Fitness is totally different. This program actually works.
Hello, I'm Mort Fertel, creator of Marriage Fitness, the revolutionary clinically proven program that will save your marriage. This is not marriage counseling. You won't have to dig into your past or dredge up your problems. Instead, you'll use a step-by-step system of positive relationship habits that will transform your marriage.
My husband wanted out and wouldn't go for help. I started Marriage Fitness alone. Now he wants back in, and we're doing the program together. Mort, you're the best.
Start with Mort's free report, 7 Secrets to Fixing Your Marriage, at 2marriagefitness.com. You'll also get 5 free marriage assessments. There are no strings attached. Get the free Fix Your Marriage report and the free assessments at 2marriagefitness.com. The number 2marriagefitness.com.
Ever since I was little, I imagined owning a bakery. With hard work, I made it happen. But after this weekend's robbery, I realized that I need to protect my dream with security.
I've got a great answer for you. Alarm Detection Systems, your local family-owned business, understands the threats you might face. Visit adsalarm.com or call 630-844-6300 and find out how we can protect you. License number 127000143.
I manage a construction site, and the other morning we had to send half of the crew home because of missing equipment. This nonsense is cutting into my time and budget.
Here's what you need to know. Alarm Detection Systems offers mobile security solutions that expand with your project. Visit adsalarm.com or call 630-844-6300 to find out about our alarm and video protection. License number 127000143.
Mike Gallagher here with exciting news about Woodfield Nissan. If you've waited to buy your next car, there may never be a better time to buy because Woodfield Nissan is drastically reducing the prices on all their vehicles to make room for incoming inventory. Now, this is your chance to save at least 25% off MSRP on select new Nissans. Every new Nissan is on sale. There's no other Nissan dealer in the Midwest that I recommend. Don't waste your time shopping around. Go to Woodfield Nissan in Hoffman Estates. A huge selection of 2017 Nissan Altimas, Sentras, and Rogues, now available with 0% APR financing for 72 months with no payments for 90 days, and they have a $2,000 Nissan customer cash rebate. Buy your next Nissan at Woodfield Nissan in Hoffman Estates, 2 miles west of the Woodfield Shopping Mall at Gulf and Higgins, or go to woodfieldnissan.com.
Prices are plus tax, title, license, and dock fee, and savings off MSRP is on select models. 0% APR financing is on select models to qualified buyers and is $13.89 per month per $1,000 finance to qualified buyers. Interest may be accrued from date of delivery. 2 or more available with this offer.
When you have sleep apnea, traveling can be a real drag because you have to drag your big, bulky home CPAP device with you everywhere you go. But not anymore. Now you can travel easily and sleep comfortably anywhere thanks to Transcend, the world's very first mini CPAP. And right now, you can try Transcend absolutely risk-free for 10 restful nights. So call now. 1-800-400-1841. Our smallest and most advanced portable design ever, Transcend is as small as a soda can and weighs less than a pound. You can even add a battery that's as tiny as a deck of cards. Transcend is so incredibly small and light, you can easily fit it in your briefcase or purse to use anywhere you go. It's FAA compliant too, so you can even sleep comfortably while flying. Now you can enjoy the freedom to sleep comfortably anywhere. But don't delay. To receive your 10-night in-home trial, call minicpap.com now. 1-800-400-1841. Again, that's 1-800-400-1841.
Deb, I'm so done with today. Traffic was awful. I couldn't stop for coffee. I have conference calls all morning, plus all these reports to go through. And look, it's 75 and sunny, and I'm stuck in here.
Relax. It's going to be an awesome day. Corporate is throwing a picnic in the parking lot for lunch, and they ordered tasty catering.
What? Did I miss the memo?
Apparently. It's going to be great. They got burgers, grilled chicken, sides, the works. You know, Tasty Catering's picnic food is excellent.
Oh, yeah, I know. We had them for our holiday party.
Today, they're bringing out the Make Your Own Burger Creation Station. They have everything you can think of, like sriracha, blue cheese crumbles, bacon, sautéed mushrooms, and caramelized onions. And they serve it straight off the grill, the way a great burger should be.
Okay, maybe there's still hope for today. I just hope I don't spill mustard on this new tie. Good thing I've got my bib.
You have a bib?
You don't?
Tasty Catering's picnic menu has all the delicious summertime food favorites you crave and more. Go to tastycatering.com to peruse mouth-watering picnic menus and start planning your picnic today. tastycatering.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, Montana has a new congressman who has a court date.
Thanks to all those little Hulkamaniacs who put him over the top at 7:37.
But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here is Dave Stewart, who's in for Mike Scott.
Thanks, Amy. Thanks, Dan. 58 degrees in Chicago at 7:30 on AM 560, The Answer. From the Nissan of St. Charles newsroom, Nissan of St. Charles, the home of the Lifetime Advantage warranty. A Cook County judge is refusing to toss out the murder charges against the Chicago police officer who shot Laquan McDonald. The Jason Van Dyke's lawyer, Daniel Herbert, argued unsuccessfully that prosecutors were pressured into charging his client after the release of the video showing the teenager's shooting in 2014.
It created this fury in the public, and the public was told essentially, you are going to be appalled when you see this. You better be appalled when you see this.
A group of protesters once again gathered outside the courthouse during the hearing. 2 nurses are suing after an inmate who escaped custody was shot and killed earlier this month after taking the nurses hostage at Del Nor Hospital in Geneva. Their attorney claims one of the nurses was beaten, tortured, and even raped by Taiwan Salters. A SWAT team eventually shot Salters in the head, but a new lawsuit claims that the deputy assigned to guard Salters left him unshackled and then ran and hid after that gun was taken. A teacher at the Chicago Military Academy on the South Side is accused of sexually assaulting a 16-year-old girl multiple times this year. Anthony Frontera was arrested this week in Elgin. Former Senator Joe Lieberman's explaining why he took his name off the list of candidates for the FBI director's job.
With everything swirling in Washington, you can't have a director of the FBI coming from the same law firm as the president's private lawyer. It's just, it looks terrible.
Lieberman admitted, though, that he did think seriously about taking the position. About 24 people are reported dead in Egypt after a gunman opened fire on a bus carrying Coptic Christians on a religious trip. The attack happened today in Minya, a city about 150 miles south of Cairo. In sports, Cubs over the Giants Thursday, 5-1. They're visiting Los Angeles to play the Dodgers tonight. The Sox hosting Detroit in a doubleheader today. News and service of Lowe's. Pro customers at Lowe's, you can save 5% on every purchase every day when you use your Lowe's business credit account. That's 5% on all purchases in-store or online. Subject to credit approval, U.S. only. AM 560 News Time, 7:33. Traffic in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
Cabela's Memorial Day sale is going on now. Family events, amazing deals. Stop in and save this week at Cabela's in Hammond and Hoffman Estates.
All Nissans are created equal. It's Nissan of St. Charles that makes the difference. At Nissan of St. Charles, we go the extra mile to make sure your happiness lasts as long as you own your vehicle. Every new Nissan or used vehicle we sell comes with our exclusive Lifetime Advantage warranty. So when you get your new Nissan at Nissan of St. Charles, you'll drive with peace of mind knowing it's backed by our exclusive warranty that lasts the lifetime of your vehicle. And be sure to ask about our Lifetime Tire program. Where else can you get a great deal on a new Nissan, a Lifetime Advantage warranty, and a Lifetime Tire program? The little things make all the difference. While all Nissans may be created equal, the difference is clearly Nissan of St. Charles. Located on North Avenue in the heart of St. Charles. Or visit us online at nissanofstcharles.com. That's nissanofstcharles.com. Nissan of St. Charles. Experience the difference.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I'm telling you right now, it's awesome. I was trying to get my blood pressure regulated, okay? And after 3 days of taking this thing, my blood pressure went back down to normal. I am ecstatic. I am so happy with this stuff. It is my savior.
This was the first summer that I have not had to have a steroid shot to help me to breathe.
The reason why I'm taking it because I've got Hep C. Once I began taking your stuff, it took a few months, but believe it or not, my liver enzymes are way down and it's normal now. It works.
The new challenge will allow you to receive 2 months of Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies free. And we'll even ship them to you free. Call now for details. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
It's the most effective product that I've ever bought in my life, but I should have ordered it like 15 years ago.
At 7:35 from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, David. The outbound Edens has delays from Elston to Winnetka Road, where workers have just finished some emergency pavement repair. It had been blocking the left lane. So it's heavy, 36 minutes from Montrose to Lake Cook, but this should loosen up quickly. The inbound side is fine at 19 minutes. Kennedy is 28 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 31. The Eisenhower, 46 minutes. Thorndale to the post office, outbound 34. Stevenson, an hour and 4 minutes. 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 40 minutes. The Rhine is 30 minutes from 95th to downtown. Lakeshore Drive, southbound a bit heavy, 18th to the Stevenson. Tri-State northbound, stop and go Plainfield Road to 47th. And from the Reagan Tollway to the Eisenhower. Veterans Memorial slows 63rd most to the way to Roosevelt. Traffic is the service of Napa Auto Parts. With quality auto parts and more than 90 years of experience, Napa Auto Parts can help you keep just about anything on the road. So stop by your local Napa store and keep it running longer, stronger with Napa know-how. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
More of Chicago's Morning Answer next, but now the forecast, a service of aircomfort.com, providing the right climate for business since 1935. Cloudy today with a shower or thunderstorm late this afternoon, a high of 72. Tonight, mostly cloudy, a couple of showers this evening, a low 56. Partly sunny tomorrow, high 77. Right now, it's 58 degrees at O'Hare. Next news, 8 o'clock. Get continuous coverage of the latest news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Now, more of Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is sponsored by Wine Time Radio. Every Saturday at 5 p.m. on AM 560, explore the wonderful world of wine with host James Crooker and Rob Lehner.
You want more than just the headlines? Find out what's going on and what it means with me, Dennis Prager, this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. He trained. He took his vitamins, he said his prayers, and he won his congressional race, talking about Greg Gianforte winning that Montana special election, Republican, maintaining the seat in Republican hands, previously held by Ryan Zinke, now Trump's Interior Secretary. And he gave an exclusive interview on the occasion of his victory last night.
We're so lucky to have this.
Yeah, Mr. Gianforte. And, of course, he wanted to give it to a friendly member of the press corps, so he enlisted Mean Gene Okerlund.
And you know something? I'm glad you did, Mean Gene, because I got something to say about this man. The last time I went through a living you-know-what with him, oh, it was terrible. And the thing was, I had him right where I wanted him. And everybody there knew that I could beat the man. Since that day, he's gone on TV, national radio, all around the world, knocked my family.
That doesn't sound like Rob Quist to me. He
What?
seems like a gentle country singer. But yeah. Gianforte is in the Congress, and he did also offer an apology to the reporter that he did a DDT or something on.
He said he was sorry.
Last night, I learned a lesson. And no, please.
No, please.
I need to
don't
share something
applaud
from my
it.
heart here.
Please don't
And I
applaud
just
what I
ask
did.
you to bear with me. And when you make a mistake, you have to own up to it. That's the Montana way. Amen. Last night I made a mistake, and I took an action that I can't take back, and I'm not proud of what happened. I should not have responded in the way that I did, and for that I'm sorry.
And you're forgiven.
Please.
I should not have treated that reporter that way, and for that, I'm sorry, Mr. Ben Jacobs.
Right.
Oh, and all his problems go away. No, because he goes to court to face that misdemeanor assault charge. And in June 7th. I'm just saying that he'll be back. The national media will be there when he walks into the courtroom. Trust me. And Ben Jacobs, the new hero now. He hit all the cable stations yesterday.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, I'm, being slammed down to the ground, and the congressional candidate is on top of me. It was very disconcerting.
Yeah, he regrets using the body slam. He should have gone with the flying drop kick and the figure 4 leg lock.
Hey, this man has his arm in a sling, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And another person trying to make a name for themselves is Alicia Acuna.
Imagine a reporter who can't take a punch.
Oh, yeah, they're saying he's only 140 pounds. How could they do that to a little man, a little reporter? But Alicia Acuna, she was the Fox News reporter that was in the room at the time, of course, front and center.
Gianforte grabbed him by the neck, both hands, slid him to the side, body slammed him.
Yes, and so she was on all the cable stations yesterday. But a lot of people really, they didn't celebrate what he did, but they understood why he did it. Because they're sick of the mainstream media, trying to walk all over, not having boundaries and trying to get in the faces of congressional candidates.
People get pushy, and I think there's a response. And if people are pushy all the time, then there is a response.
Yeah,
that man voted for Greg.
Yeah, the response is not to engage in WWF moves. That's not the response. And obviously, Gianforte was right to apologize. And the suggestion that because the members of the press corps are pushy or paparazzi-like, that what he did was somehow justified is absurd. It's not. Please. Just stop. And stop with this idea that because the left assaults people, that somehow it rationalizes the right doing it. Are we in grade school? Do we have to revisit the idea that he did it to first is not a defense?
Well, my dad is bigger than your dad.
I mean, honestly, yes. The people attacking police officers, the people rioting, they are also wrong. Both sides are wrong to use thuggery, okay? Real straightforward. But now here's the big thing, too, because I feel a little bit bad for Rob Quist. I mean, I don't want him in Congress because he's leftist.
Right, but his Democratic challenger.
Yeah.
Rob Quist.
He's a country singer, country songwriter, and singer.
He's kind of easy on the eyes.
70 years old, Amy's demographic. And he's got a pretty good voice. He's got some good songs. I'm particular to 45 Caliber Man.
Yeah.
But the question is, and we've been asking all morning, I'll tell you who the leader in the clubhouse is. What should the concession country song for Rob Quist be entitled? He's going to have to write a ditty to kind of therapeutically get past this electoral defeat.
It's cathartic for him to write a song and sing a song about, problems in his life. That's the essence of country music. I got drunk, my baby left me, my wife left me, and I lost my job.
We'll also take your favorite country lyric of all time, because we've been doing that all morning. We've still got some texts here. How about, this could be a country song title from 217, Stand On Your Man.
Oh.
A little twist on the Tammy Wynette.
Stand on your man. Okay.
I apologize to Tammy Wynette and her family for that.
But Rob Quist, he does play the banjo, too. And guess what? He has been known to play at nudist resorts. And has a long history of text delinquency.
Hey, it's a gig.
Hey.
He's a text delinquency. He's a songwriter.
I went to Nudestock once, and the singer from Kansas was there. Nudestock. He thought it was going to be similar to Woodstock, and he didn't know that it was he acted all surprised when I interviewed him. I said, why did you choose
Did you interview him naked, or were you wearing your bikini?
Both of us were wearing clothes, thank you.
Yeah.
And it's a two-piece, by the way.
Yes.
He did have his shirt out and his long shirt off, but he did say that he thought that this was Woodstock, and he had no idea it was a nudist camp. It was a 3-day concert in near Kalamazoo.
Dust wasn't the only thing in the wind that day. Text from 708, country song title.
Uh-huh.
Get your tongue out of my mouth because I'm kissing you goodbye. I guess that's a favorite country song title.
That's a good one.
Country song lyric, best country song lyric. I'd rather have a bottle in front of me than a frontal lobotomy. Yeah.
Oh.
Country song lyric, rain makes corn makes whiskey, whiskey makes my baby feel a little frisky. I screwed up the lyric, but you get it. Another text on a favorite lyric, 847. I can't drink you away. I've tried Jack. I've tried Jim. I've tried all their friends.
That's a good one.
And your favorite country lyric?
You ain't going to find me at the bottom of your glass.
And that's Patsy Cline.
Patsy Cline,
May she
yeah.
rest in peace.
Marcus Brown, our program director, said, so tonight is the night Democrats realized that early voting is a bad idea. I wondered when that moment would finally arrive. Because he was
so much of the vote. Right?
Yeah, 50. They were estimating 50 to 70% of voters voted early in this election.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and there's no law to change your vote in the state of Montana.
Now, for those that want to get in on this contest,
312-642-5600 is the turnkey.pro answer line.
The leader in the clubhouse for the title for Rob Quist's concession country song is Tony from the South Side, who is, you may know from such descriptions, monikers as Tangerine Jesus. to describe Donald Trump.
Best ever.
His song suggests a song title. Ain't No Snowflakes in Montana.
Oh.
All right. I want to put a marker down. Steve and Joliet, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yes, good morning to Dan the Man and the lovely Miss Jacobson. Hey, you mentioned WWF. You should have been a little gentler. Maybe a Singapore sleeper hold when
Yeah, sure, a little
I
Yeah.
have to level up a little bit. The media, it's tough, but that just leaves a question. If he has a misdemeanor, case coming up, is that going to affect his seat in Congress or to take it even?
No.
No, because it's a misdemeanor. And
Thanks for the call, Steve.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it will not affect. Not affect.
do you want to see reporters try and talk to him in the halls of Congress? Whoa, hey!
Yeah, it's going to be like
They'll
the
be like holding their microphone here.
It's going to be
Don't
like
hurt
the
me.
last.
Don't body slam me, please.
Deborah on the southeast side. You're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yes, hi. There's Nothing Like a Woman is the title, and it's by Vince Gill.
Okay. There's Nothing Like a Woman is the title of what?
This is the title of the country western song.
That she likes.
Oh, that's There's Nothing Like a Woman should be his concession song?
No, it's a country western song.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It's by Vince Gill.
Yeah, Dan.
Thanks for the call,
It's
Deborah.
by
Appreciate
Vince
it.
Gill.
I love Vince
She just
Gill.
wanted to call up and tell us what her favorite country western
We'll
song
also take calls of your favorite country western song. Doesn't have to be on the topic at all. Vince Gill, that's your favorite Vince Gill song. He's got a couple of great ballads.
Uh-huh.
Showing how romantic I am.
Oh, good.
Uh-huh.
Look at me.
Whenever You Come Around. How about that?
Oh.
It's a great song.
What's your favorite? Oh, your country lyric? Something about a telephone?
Oh, Randy Travis, my favorite country lyric is Randy Travis. If my phone still ain't ringing, I guess it still ain't you. That's country.
That's simply said. Yeah.
Daryl in Northwest Indiana, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hi. Thanks for taking my call. How about achy breaky reporter?
That's pretty good. I like that. Thanks for the call.
I mean, Ben Jacobs has
Achy
gotten
breaky reporter.
so
Don't-
much press.
Wait, don't
break my heart,
Don't-
my achy breaky Ben.
Don't break my
Ben, he'll
glasses.
fall apart.
Don't break my glasses, my achy breaky reporter. Yeah,
I mean, they even put up the weight between Greg Gianforte. Why can't I say his name?
It's the Gianforte. It's the tail.
Gianforte
Well, so of course
with
it's
Ben Jacobs.
It's the tail of the tape. You gotta have. You gotta
Where's
have
the tape?
You gotta have weight. You gotta have reach.
I gotta hear the tape.
You gotta have record.
I want to hear the tape.
Robert in Northbrook, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, hi. How you doing?
Good.
Two things. First of all, favorite country western song, "Blue" by Leanne Rimes, who had bad management. Second, regarding the body slamming incident, comment to Sean. He mentioned it's very easy to body slam a guy named Jacobs. I would tell him to consult 100 million Arabs to find out how easy it is to body slam 5 million people called Jacob.
Okay. Oh, ooh, nice turn of a response. Nice riposte, Robert. Thanks for the call. Appreciate
I've got a
it.
good idea. We could take the
That's good.
sound from the takedown and get the hell out of here, and he can incorporate that into the song.
And what you
we'll talk to you about that later.
Yeah, but there's not going to be time. I'm just curious if you have
Okay,
the
speak
right
with
now.
Shane, please.
But you don't.
Oh, there he goes.
I'm tired of you guys. The last guy that came in here, you did the same thing. Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. The last guy did the same thing. You were the guardian?
Yes, and you just broke my glasses.
The last guy did the same damn thing.
You just body slammed me and broke my glasses.
Get the hell out of here.
You'd like me to get the hot up here?
Get the folding chair. Hit him with the folding chair.
He just body slammed me.
Who's got a chainsaw? Oh, it's great. Get the staple gun out.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
My friend Pondo got staple gunned in the head last time I went to a wrestling event.
Mickey Rourke will play Greg Gianforte in the Greg Gianforte story.
Forecast for your Memorial Day weekend. Yes, the unofficial start of summer. Today we're going to have sunshine, but Pretty nasty afternoon shower or thunderstorm around 3:30 to 4 o'clock. It should hit the Chicago area. Saturday, chance of morning rain, otherwise mostly sunny, a high of 78. On Sunday, we have afternoon rain, a high of 77. And on Monday, Memorial Day, sunny skies, but we can't rule out a scattered shower. A little bit cooler, highs in the upper 60s. Let's get into our alarm detection system traffic center, a big get out of town Friday. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy. We are seeing roadwork delays on eastbound 8094 from past Central Avenue to Ripley. Westbound, it's slow Grant to Burr. Toll Road's fine. I-65 looks good. And if you might be headed to Indy, there is some roadwork south of Roselawn. 65 is down to one lane in each direction. Not seeing any real delays there now. Edens, clear inbound. Outbound still heavy Peterson to Willow. There was some earlier road work there. Things are loosening up, but it's still a significant delay. Kennedy, 32 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, outbound 31. The Eisenhower's 49 minutes. Thorndale to the post office, outbound 36. Stevenson, an hour, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 40 minutes. The Rhine is 30 minutes, 95th to downtown. Northbound Tri-State, stop and go Archer to the Hinsdale Oasis, and slow from the Reagan Tollway to the Eisenhower. Veterans Memorial, a little heavy from 75th to the Reagan Tollway. The other tollways are good. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Hey, how'd you like to have insurance for your computer network, something to protect your hardware and software, and more importantly, give you peace of mind? Well, using Turnkey IT for installation and support is like having insurance for your computer network. For one affordable monthly payment, your company gets a full team of certified technicians. They're there for you on the phone. They make house calls. They work in the background to ensure your systems are up and running. And again, they'll help you over the phone or make those house calls to your workplace. And Turnkey IT doesn't wait until there's an emergency call because they work hard to take preventative measures to keep networks secure, backed up, and running. Turnkey IT can protect your network with the Turnkey experience, which includes everything: Office 365 hosting, advanced network protection, cloud backup, disaster recovery, and unlimited remote and on-site support. So find out what Turnkey IT can do for your company. It's easy. Visit turnkey.pro. That's turnkey.pro.
Finding great candidates to hire can be, well, like trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter is different. It doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them. With its powerful technology, ZipRecruiter distributes your job everywhere it needs to be to find the right candidates. In fact, over 80% of jobs on ZipRecruiter get a qualified candidate in just one day. So, while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, only ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
Used by businesses of all sizes, ZipRecruiter offers the most qualified job candidates with immediate results. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter free. That's right, free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/work. That's ZipRecruiter.com/work for your free trial. ZipRecruiter.com/work.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity, sponsored by Upstream-Ideas.com. President Trump's victory produced a plethora of leftist think pieces plotting their escape from their coastal bubbles, so they're never so blindsided again. After a 6-month probationary period, can we finally dismiss as disingenuous their intellectual curiosity? During that time, the left has written more Russian fiction than Boris Pasternak. The budding totalitarians on college campuses have attacked professors, shouted down the education secretary, and argued that white men do not enjoy First Amendment rights. In Chicago, a group of nasty women hosted an art exhibit fundraiser for Planned Parenthood featuring an anti-Trump painting stained with the vaginal blood from the artist. In Phoenix, the city used taxpayer dollars to help finance a billboard depicting Trump as a money-grubbing Nazi. Storied MIT linguistics professor Noam Chomsky claimed recently that the Republican Party is the greatest threat to mankind's survival in the history of the world. I don't see much common ground to be forged here, and frankly, I'm not terribly interested in indulging lunacy. If I'm a deplorable, then they are the unsalvageables. I say we let them stay scrolled away in their bubbles, and we pop them again in November of 2018.
Hey, the Bolingbrook Golf Club is the location of our annual golf outing, sponsored in part by Joe Cotton Ford, but there's more than just golf at the Bolingbrook Golf Club. They had a wonderful Mother's Day brunch, and they also are going to have the best Independence Day celebration in Will County, complete with food, fun, and, of course, fireworks. So find out all the details about their 4th of July celebration at BolingbrookGolfClub.com. That's BolingbrookGolfClub.com.
They are here, circling over your head, and they're tracking you down. You feel overwhelmed, like you can't escape. You need a solution to get your back taxes filed, to put your life back on track. You need someone who can keep the vultures at bay and work directly with the IRS to leverage every opportunity to settle your tax debt. Mary Karpowitz, CEO of Comprehensive Tax Solutions, is licensed to represent you before the IRS. Don't let the IRS threaten you. You should never need to speak to them directly. Mary does that for you. Comprehensive Tax Solutions will help you settle your entire IRS tax debt for up to 85% off the original amount owed, including penalties and interest if you qualify. Comprehensive Tax Solutions, family owned in Chicagoland, can be a lifesaver for you. Call 708-478-6770, 708-478-6770, or go to resolveyourtaxproblems.com. Call 708-478-6770 now.
For half a century, Schrank Smoke & Gun has been the firearm store generations of customers trust. And during the month of May, Schrank's is offering an excellent concealed carry pistol at an amazing price. All new Sky 9mm 10-round pistols are on sale for only $239. Schrank's has Lake County's largest selection of new, used, and consignment pistols, rifles, shotguns, and an impressive variety of ammo. Over 700 firearms in stock, including a huge selection of AR rifles from Colt, Smith & Wesson, Civilian Force Arms, and many more. Even collectibles, older hunting rifles, plus full gunsmith services. And you can get all of your favorite cigars at Schrank's. So drive north to avoid the Cook County taxes and don't miss the $239 sale on Sky 9mm pistols. Perfect for concealed carry all through May. Visit smoke_gun.org or call 847-662-4034 for directions. Schrank's Smoke & Gun in Waukegan, your family-owned gun store since 1964.
If you're aged 59 and a half or older with the 401k plan and still working, stop what you're doing and call Arlington Capital Management at 855-471-5796. They'll help you actively manage your 401k, show you strategies to avoid major declines, and capitalize on opportunities. There are benefits with age, and this is one of them. At 59 and a half, you're entitled to new opportunities in the investment world that can dramatically improve your results and even lower your fees. Call 855-471-5796 now and take the first step toward getting more out of your retirement assets. The team at Arlington Capital Management proactively explores the market, our economy, and all of the variables that offset your investments. Call 855-471-5796 now for a complimentary consultation. That's 855-471-5796 or visit arlington-capital.com. You worked hard to accumulate your nest egg. Now, it's time to put your money to work for you.
Highland Park Ford Lincoln's in the house. Here's Alan Marty.
For 30 years, we've been making people happy with incredible deals and service.
We're the best Ford Lincoln dealers in town.
Because making people happy makes us happy.
No doubt. This is one happy place.
Heck, we just break into dance all the time.
We don't break into dance at the dealership.
Sure we do.
No, we really don't.
We could. Come on, Marty, dance with me.
The Highland Park Ford Lincoln Superstore. Call 1-800-984-9000 or go to alanmarty.com.
Admit it.
Okay, you're a lovely dancer.
Thank you. This is Alan Marty. Deal with us.
AM 560, The Answer.
My achy breaky heart.
I'm so happy that Rob Quist ran for Congress so we could do this bit.
It's great.
Trying to come up with this country concession song title. And also, now we've just gone, it's off the rails. Just any country song you like, any country lyric you like.
Call in. Yeah, why not?
Text from the Amish texter, favorite country song lyric. We both weighed in with ours. His is from David Allan Coe, the rodeo song. Here comes Johnny with his pecker in his hand. He's a one-ball man, and he's off to the rodeo.
That's great.
Let's see.
Steve, no?
Text from 219, Did I Shave My Legs for This by Deanna Carter.
That's awesome.
Text from 217, how about Jesus drop kicked me through the goalposts of life.
These are great.
How can I get over you if you won't get out from under me? Yeah. At the gas station of life, I got the self-service pump. That's actually
nice.
A Weird Al Yankovic song, which barely qualifies, but, okay. Steve in Evanston, you're in Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hi, Dan and Amy. I'm writing two songs as we speak. The first one will be I'd Like Some Wine with My Wine.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And it's not proper etiquette. I'm very delicate.
Okay. All right, not bad. Thanks for the call, Steve. It's not bad. Let's see.
Well, we have to do this quick, Dan.
Yeah, I'm just taking a quick
Tick-tock
look. We
goes
got
the
time. We got time.
20
Yeah.
seconds.
We'll continue to take your suggested song titles. Remember, Leader in the Clubhouse, Ain't No Snowflakes in Montana by Tony on the South Side.
But now let's go into the newsroom. Here's Dave Stewart, who's in for Mike Scott.
And we'll have some local headlines after a look at Fox News from WIND Chicago, where it's 58 degrees at 8 o'clock.
Fox News Radio. I'm Dave Anthony. All across America, hearts are broken. That's what the Secretary of State tells his counterpart in Britain, referring to Monday's concert bombing. Rex Tillerson also took full responsibility for U.S. news leaks about the suicide attacker and his bomb.
We condemn that. The president has been very strong in his condemnation and has called for an immediate investigation and prosecution.
The leaks angered the British, who threatened to not share info anymore with the U.S. President Trump is meeting with world leaders in Sicily, saying he's made and saved the U.S. billions of dollars and millions of jobs on his foreign trip. Fox's Simon Owen live at the G7 summit.
Dave, this the final stop for the president before heading home. Topics up for discussion including climate change and trade, two subjects where the president is on a rather different page to many of his fellow leaders here. The White House predicting robust and challenging talks. The president also expected to meet one-on-one with the British Prime Minister and earlier sat down with Japan's Prime Minister. The president calling North Korea a big problem that will be solved. Dave?
Simon, President Trump's ready to take the fight over his blocked travel ban to the highest level. Fox's John Decker live at the White House.
Attorney General Jeff Sessions says the Justice Department will ask the Supreme Court to hear the case involving the president's proposed executive order on immigration, citing the president's duty to protect the country from terrorism. A federal appeals court ruled against President Trump, saying the proposed travel ban, in its words, drips with religious intolerance, animus, and discrimination. The presidential executive order seeks to temporarily cut off visas for people from 6 majority Muslim countries with ties to terrorism. Dave?
John, U.S. military member has been killed in Syria, but it's not a combat death. U.S. Central Command says it happened in a vehicle rollover today. The economy grew a little more than first thought in the first quarter. GDP growth has been revised upward from 0.7 to 1.2% from January to March. Fox News Radio, fair and balanced.
Good morning. It's 58 degrees in Chicago at 8:02 on AM 560 The Answer. I'm David Stewart from the Nissan of St. Charles newsroom. Nissan of St. Charles, home of the Lifetime Advantage warranty. Mayor Emanuel is hailing Amtrak's selection of a development firm for the billion-dollar rehab and development of Union Station. He said the investment befits the significance of Union Station to Chicago's transportation system.
It stands in contrast to what's happening in other parts of the country that have not invested in transportation. Union Station, if it was an airport, would be your 12th busiest airport in the United States.
Riverside Investment and Development will head the 6-year project that will start with creating new retail space, a food hall, and the renovation of the Great Hall. Chicago's top cop is a step closer to convincing lawmakers to crack down on repeat gun offenders. An Illinois House committee has approved and sent to the full House a bill to allow higher prison sentences for repeat gun offenders. Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson testified in favor of that measure Thursday. Later this morning, Chicago police will announce the results of a series of gang raids carried out in conjunction with federal ATF agents in 3 police districts. In Hinsdale, police are questioning a person of interest in the murder of a woman earlier this month. Authorities say that Andrea Urban was found dead in her home on May the 4th of blunt force trauma. Charges could be filed soon. The Cook County judge is not going to throw out the murder charges against police officer Jason Van Dyke for the killing of Laquan McDonald. Van Dyke's attorney argued yesterday that not only was the 2014 shooting justified, it was Van Dyke's duty to shoot the teenager because he was carrying a knife. And Winnebago County Sheriff Gary Caruana is dropping plans to create a federal immigration detention center inside the county jail. The Rockford Register-Star reports that Caruana says the immigration officials could not guarantee the county would retain control of the facility and that only people convicted of crimes would be placed there. In sports, Cubs over the Giants Thursday, 5-1. They're in L.A. to play the Dodgers tonight. Sox host Detroit in a doubleheader. The news is service of the T.J. Martell Foundation.
Hey everybody, I'm Eric Church, asking you to join me in the fight against leukemia, cancer, and AIDS through the T.J. Martell Foundation. Your support helps facilitate cutting-edge research that will lead to more effective treatments and save more lives. Visit tjmartell.org to learn about music's promise for a cure.
AM 560 News Time 8:04. Time now for the AM 560 Business Beat, sponsored by Turnkey.pro. From the Fox Business Network, here's Pat O'Neill.
From the Fox Business Network, Wall Street hopes to keep its winning streak on track after 7 straight gains as it heads into the long holiday weekend. Stock futures are a bit lower, though, following mixed results in Asia and mostly lower results in Europe. A federal court has ruled against Wells Fargo in a case involving $350 million in foreign tax credits. The prosecutors called a tax shelter. Wells Fargo is likely to be liable for a penalty of about $70 million. Everything is bigger in Texas, they say, including population booms. The Census Bureau says 4 of the 5 fastest growing big cities and suburban areas in the U.S. over the 12 months up to last July were in the state. Conroe, a Houston suburb, was the fastest growing, up by 7.8% during that span, more than 11 times the national average. State officials credit Texas's robust job market and lower living costs. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Pat O'Neill.
AM 560 News Time 8:05. Traffic in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
You need to understand that the way you build wealth is you do not use the evening news or CNN or Fox to set the tone of your emotions around your investing.
The Dave Ramsey Show.
If you're thinking of changing your investing patterns because you're watching the news, you need to turn off the news. You are in charge of your destiny.
Dave Ramsey. Weeknights starting at 7. Presented by Wintrust Community Bank on AM 560. The Answer.
Summer involves a lot of driving, to camp, to work, to soccer, back home to grab what they forgot, and then back to soccer again. So wouldn't you like to know your car is up for it? Enter Hum by Verizon. Now you can check your car's health from your phone with vehicle diagnostics, drive with more peace of mind thanks to 24/7 emergency assistance, and let the kids stream and game on the go with your car's own Wi-Fi hotspot. Get Hum and get where you're going. Learn more at hum.com. Verizon Wi-Fi available on HumX only. Data usage applies. Coverage not available everywhere. Visit vzw.com for availability.
It's time to gear up for summer fun. The Ready to Ride sales event is here. Looking to ride the waves? Check out our selection of Sea-Doo watercraft. Want to tear up the trails? Shop our selection of Can-Am ATVs and side-by-sides. Or rev up for open road adventures with the latest Spyder Roadsters. Stop in now and save up to $3,500 on your ultimate warm weather adventure machines. Visit Maxim Power Sports in Merrillville. Offer ends soon. Restrictions may apply. See dealer for details.
At 8:07 from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, David. On the inbound Kennedy, traffic is stop and go from Addison to the Hubbard Tunnel. 34 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 24 from Montrose, no savings in the Express. The Ohio feeder's backed up. Outbound 31 minutes downtown to the airport. Edens, 21 minutes, Lake Cook Junction. Outbound 32. The Eisenhower, 43 minutes. Thorndale to the post office downtown. 28 from Manheim. Outbound 34 minutes to Thorndale. Stevenson is an hour from 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 42 minutes. The Ryan, 27 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 18 minutes, I-80 to the Merge, Bishop Ford, 16. Southbound Lakeshore Drive, delays are from Irving Park to Fullerton and 18th to the Stevenson. Tri-State northbound slow, Archer to the Hinsdale Oasis, and from the Reagan Tollway to the Eisenhower. Veterans Memorial, a little sluggish, 75th to the Reagan Tollway and Army Trail to 290. Eastbound 8094, stop and go from past Central to Ripley, westbound Grant to Burr. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
More of Chicago's Morning Answer next, but now your forecast, a service of aircomfort.com, providing the right climate for business since 1935. And here's meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Today, some sun, then turning cloudy, with a shower or thunderstorm late in the afternoon, high 72. Tonight, a couple of showers during the evening, otherwise mostly cloudy with a low 56. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
At the lakefront, 57 degrees, 62 now at Midway and O'Hare. Next news, 8:30. Get continuous coverage of the latest news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Chicago's Morning Answer continues now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Real Estate Revealed with Randy Barcella. Heard each and every Sunday at 8 a.m. on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy, and we have the pleasure now of talking to one of my favorite commentators on politics and finance and the intersection of the two. And it seems timely as Illinois maintains a budget impasse and is soon to be the first state in the history of America to be junk rated. You've got Chicago and the Chicago public school system already junk rated and borrowing $900 million over the past week at soprano rates to keep CPS afloat. A Chicago public school system that not only has billion-dollar annual budget deficits, but $9 billion in debt, and a teacher's pension fund that is starting to descend at the rate that the Chicago police and fire and laborers and city workers pension funds have, now below 30% funded. Chicago teachers, as a story that was reported in Chicago City Wire, one of the news outlets I started. Last year, the teachers fund paid out $1.5 billion in benefits to beneficiaries,
Right.
and earned
how much?
$7.8 million on their investments. That's a problem. It's
Unsustainable. I mean, that.
Well, it's unsustainable when we talk about it in the public sector. In the private sector, we call that a Ponzi scheme, and people like Bernie Madoff go to jail for 150 years. For more on this topic and the issue of public sector pensions and all of the drivers of debt, both at the state and local level as well as the federal level, what the impact of those are and our ability to grow and create opportunities for people, we're pleased to be joined by the man who needs no introduction, but accept his name. He is Rick Santelli, on-air editor for CNBC. Rick, thanks for joining us again. Appreciate it.
Oh, thank you, Dan and Amy. And I didn't know your involvement with Chicago City Wire.
Yeah.
Impressive. I'll tell you what, it's a great publication. I wish more print and blogs and commentators and analysts would zero in on some of these huge issues. The prioritizing of the news really, I think, is lacking these days, personally.
Well, thank you very much. We're trying to give people the data and then inform them and let them make their own judgments on these things. And so just picking up on that, so the laborers, the city workers in Chicago, plus the teachers, those three pension funds last year paid out $2.5 billion, and they earned on investments a combined $97 million. Can you make that math work, Rick?
No, and not only can you not make that math work, you could take that as an incubator of bad math, and you can then move higher up the food chain towards federal programs like Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare, because really all of them in many ways suffer from the same issues. The reality is that deals were made, promises were made, and nobody feels worse than the people involved. You know who I feel the worst for, Dan and Amy, are the teachers.
Yeah.
Listen, they did this in good faith. They made decisions on how to work, where to work, what jobs to take based on some type of utility function between how much they're going to earn, their benefits and their pension or their 401k, however they wanted to retire. And they decided in this instance, for our example, to be teachers. But the sad part is the Ponzi scheme aspects that you brought up and the City Wire brought up are very accurate. When new people are paying for old people, that isn't right. And to summarize it, it's the same for all the programs I mentioned. If the funds that are supposed to pay the benefits for retired, whether it's police, firemen, or teachers, isn't making enough money, or Social Security at some point isn't going to work, there's only basically 5 things you can do. And they're the same 5 things. You either have benefits renegotiation, either break the contracts entirely, you get more contributions, you have higher taxes, or you push out the age to qualify for whatever pension or retirement you're looking to draw. The final one is to get new people to trade the money. There is no silver bullet here, and I think the worst thing is that having no answer and having no discussion leads us to the only time it seems as though the city, the state, or the country move on any negative issues, crisis, and that's terrible.
Mm-hmm. Do you think there'll ever be a time, though, when somebody could be charged criminally because this is the essence of a Ponzi scheme?
No. listen, the analogy works. It really is a perfect analogy, and I hope that all listeners just go look up on Wikipedia or whatever online areas that listeners find they get their definitions from, and look up Ponzi scheme. If you take the word fraudulent out, everything else fits perfect. Listen, this is fully legal. As a matter of fact, there are many funds in the country, even the biggest, the California Fund, teachers' funds, that are supposed to have a bogey. It used to be around 9%. I think many are now around 7%, a little below or a little above 7%. That's what the numbers that are plugged in are, but they never get close, just like this analogy. When you pay out $1.5 billion and you make technically $35 million, but you have expenses of $28 million, there's nothing left. And this is really sad. And the worst part is that between property taxes, so people that aren't really involved directly, and the teachers that are currently working, they have to make up this difference. And that's really, I guess, the saddest part, because if you're teaching right now, you should be the maddest, because all the money that you were contributing that you think is going into a fund to help grow your retirement money when you need it, well, it isn't.
Well, right, and Illinois taxpayers are right behind in terms of the people that should be the most upset. And I think one of the things is people have a hard time understanding how this can't go on in the private sector. This can't go on even for pension funds managed by trade unions, for example. The business manager manages the pension fund for a trade union the way that these state pension funds are managed, and he'd be in federal prison. And yet, this is like the example to me. 2005 to 2009, the SEC concluded that the state of Illinois fraudulently issued bonds based on false projections about funding levels for public sector pensions. 2005, 2009, they said essentially the state committed fraud, except the state committed it, no individual committed it. And the lack of accountability in the public sector versus the private sector, or even the quasi-private sector like trade unions, I think that's what burns people. They don't understand how the SEC can make that determination and nobody's held to account civilly or criminally.
Well, you know what, Dan? I remember when I was young, my dad always used to say, you can't beat City Hall, you can't sue City Hall. There's a lot of truth to that. Now, I'm not saying that that's any form of an answer. I think that type of behavior isn't going to solve the problem. Just like when we look to Washington now. I understand that there's most in the press that don't like this president. I get it, and I understand why. But in the end, voters chose, so they need to get along and try to get things done for the country. But the impasses are too great. There's just an inertia there that can't be solved. And it's the same on this local level. But that is so negative, and it's so destructive, because if neither side is willing, and I understand, everybody who's got a dog in this fight, the retired teachers don't want to have any benefit reductions. The new teachers, they absolutely don't want to push out the year with which they can retire. So the only thing that's almost left is teachers or policemen or firemen or people for Social Security that are just now getting close to the age of getting a job. You need to extend the age. And I'll tell you, especially with the current budget being released, Dan and Amy, I get it. I understand what they're trying to do, and I think it's the greatest lie perpetrated on mankind to say that there are cuts when all we're really doing is slowing the ascension of the baseline, which is automatic increases to all these programs every year. I get that. But in the end, somebody needs to actually work together. Somebody has to cave here. And as I said, right now, raise the retirement age for Social Security a couple years. It really goes a long way in solving the problem. Same way when future teachers, police, or firemen, 20 years or whatever that criteria is, you need to extend it. These are the tips of the iceberg of some of the easier things. Nobody's even trying to work on those.
He is Rick Santelli, on-air editor for CNBC. Rick, thanks as always for joining us. Always a pleasure. Appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. And real quickly, Memorial Day Monday, just like all the other holidays, we all want to have a good weekend and barbecue. But let's not lose sight of why we celebrate this holiday. There are many who died in active military service, so we can have discussions like we're having. We need to honor their memory.
Well said. Thank you, Rick. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
The more you listen, the more you'll know. This is Chicago's Morning Answer. On AM 560, The Answer.
Dan Prof just realizing, we don't work on Monday. No, it's Memorial Day.
I don't know. I'm the newbie around here.
Right. Today, plenty of sunshine right now, but we're going to have a thunderstorm roll through here around 3 o'clock, 3:30 for this afternoon. Could be severe in spots, a high of 75 degrees. And then over the weekend, can't rule out a chance of rain on Saturday or Sunday or Monday. Saturday, a high of 78. Sunday, a high of 77. And on Monday, a little bit cooler, highs in the upper 60s. Let's get into our Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy and Dan. The upcoming holiday is one reason traffic is lighter than usual on many roads, including Kennedy. Right now, delays start inbound at Addison. It's 34 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. No savings in the express. And outbound 30 minutes downtown to the airport. Eden's 21 minutes, Lake Cook to the junction. Outbound 32, there was some earlier road work near Winnetka Road. The Eisenhower, just 43 minutes, Thorndale to downtown. 28 from Manheim. Outbound 34 to Thorndale. The Stevenson is an hour, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 42 minutes. Ryan 27 minutes, 95th to downtown. Lakeshore Drive delays. Southbound Irving Park to North Avenue and 18th to the Stevenson. Northbound Tri-State heavy Archer to the Hinsdale Oasis and from the Reagan Tollway to the Eisenhower. The other tollways are out fine now. Do have delays on 8094 eastbound from past Central to Ripley, westbound Grant to Burr. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I had gout in both my knees, and it's gone.
Well, I'm pretty stupid. I should have ordered it 15 years ago. It's the most effective product that I've ever bought in my life.
He had eczema on his hand, and it cracked for years. He did anything from doctor, every cream, everything. And 3 months on the veggies and fruit, it was gone.
They're just awesome. They keep asking me, what am I doing? I told them what I did with my cholesterol. I had the blood test, right? And it went down 100 points. 262, now it's 162. Everything is just perfect.
Balance of Nature is celebrating its 20th anniversary by providing you the best offer they've ever given. 2 free months of fruits and veggies and free shipping. Call now for details. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Chicago.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
Do you know your bank's fraud tolerance? I'm Ann Dollagall, Treasury Management Executive. At Signature Bank, we have zero tolerance. While some of the big banks may write off smaller incidences of fraud, we use a multi-layered approach to fight fraud before it happens to our customers. There's been a record number of businesses hit with payments fraud this year. Keeping your business assets safe is our top priority. We are trained, and we will train you to recognize potential wire fraud threats and business email compromise scams. Call us today to find out how Signature Bank can work with your business to fight fraud.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. Learn more about turning your business vision into reality. Visit signature-bank.com. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Are Christmas songs with religious references allowed to be sung at a public school program? This is Law and Justice with Jay Sekulow.
I kind of have an opposite situation where a school is teaching children 3 Christian songs in their Christmas program, which is coming up this Friday, and there's an atheist parent protesting these songs, and the teacher that's teaching them wants to go ahead and do them, but they're kind of afraid.
Look, there's no legal problem with this. The idea that Christmas songs are not allowed during the Christmas season is wrong. The Supreme Court has said so. So have there been Department of Education guidelines. Let me encourage you to go to the website at aclj.org, and if you go right to the front page of it, in the Spotlight section, it says Celebrating Christmas Season in the Schools. You just click on it, and it will give you all the resources and answers all the questions. And there's an information letter. Print that out and give it to the school, and that should solve the problem.
Visit us at aclj.org. That's aclj.org.
AM 560, The Answer. If you're looking for the latest news, insight into what it means, and the sharpest opinion, there's only one station in Chicago where you can turn, and it's this one. We're AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, nothing so regal as the Harvard commencement ceremony. And this year, Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg, not the Winklevoss twins. They were not in attendance. Mark Zuckerberg addressed the school in which he matriculated until he didn't. He dropped out. And the theme of his speech, creating a world where everyone has a sense of purpose by doing things like getting off of Facebook and living a life. Zuckerberg sounded very much the Obama automaton at the beginning of his remarks. Listen to this foray.
A lot of people are feeling disconnected and depressed and are trying to fill a void in their lives. As I've traveled around, I've sat with children in juvenile detention and opioid addicts who've told me that maybe their lives would have turned out differently if they just had something to do, an after-school program or somewhere to go. I've met factory workers who know their old jobs aren't coming back and are just trying to find their path ahead. For our society to keep moving forward, we have a generational challenge to not only create new jobs, but create a renewed sense of purpose.
I mean, doesn't that sound like a State of the Union speech?
Yeah, it does. Sounds like he's preparing for something bigger than just the Harvard commencement speech.
Well, here's the thing. He may be qualified because I don't even consider Zuckerberg a liberal. Because a liberal means like you consciously believe the things that you espouse. Zuckerberg has the depth of a cookie tray. He's just kind of repeating bromides and kind of conventional left concerns without any real discernible belief. Listen to this. So here's how you create a world where everyone has a sense of purpose. 3 ways, okay? Big, meaningful projects. Number 1, redefining equality. Of course, redefine. Redefining equality, and that means expanding. That's what the left always means when they want to redefine something. It's always an expansion so as to distort it beyond all recognition. And the third thing is building community. Do big things, meaningful things.
So what are we waiting for? It is time for our generation-defining great works. How about stopping climate change before we destroy the planet and getting millions of people involved?
I want to destroy the planet.
The best and the brightest. The Crimson regaled with that nugget and offer their Pavlovian applause. These are the smartest people in the country, allegedly. Yeah. What does redefining equality mean, you ask?
Well, what does redefining equality mean, Dan?
Thank you for asking. Mark Zuckerberg has an answer.
Today, we have a level of wealth inequality that hurts everyone. When you don't have the freedom to take your idea and turn it into a historic enterprise, we all lose. And right now, today, our society is way over-indexed on rewarding people when they're successful, and we don't do nearly enough to make sure that everyone can take lots of different shots. Now, let's face it, there is something wrong with our system when I can leave here and make billions of dollars in 10 years, while millions of students can't even afford to pay off their loans, let alone start a business.
Yeah, the thing that's wrong is Harvard's tuition. Is he right? Is that really true? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. Is it true? That's an indicative. That indicates there's something wrong with the system. That adult like Zuckerberg can be worth billions of dollars, and some of these Harvard grads can't pay off their student loans. Is that true? I mean, Zuckerberg is pandering, of course.
Well, obviously.
Yeah, of course he is, and I understand that.
He knows who his audience is.
But this is about expanding equality, right? Redefining equality. So what does that mean exactly? There's a government mandate to provide me with venture capital for every idea I have? You fill in the blanks, Mark. And then he closes with the new social contract. The new social contract, which is, again, sounds like a politician talking.
Right.
This is the building community, part 3 of giving everybody a sense of purpose in life.
And now it's time for our generation to define a new social contract. We should have a society that measures progress not just by economic metrics like GDP, but by how many of us have a role we find meaningful. We should explore ideas like universal basic income to make sure that everyone has a cushion to try new ideas. We're all going to change jobs and roles many times, so we need affordable child care to get to work and health care that's not tied to just one employer.
All right, Ivanka. Yeah, you get where he's going. That's the whole new sense of purpose. Some of the stuff he said is prosaic ideas that have been bandied about for a long time, which are I'm certainly open-minded about the portability of health insurance is actually a good idea. It's a good topic for discussion, but he's just throwing things out.
Right.
He doesn't believe any of it. He doesn't even care about it. And it's just like a corporate retreat, like everybody should get a T-shirt after they do their trust falls after this speech. It is just anodyne blather. Huda in Rogers Park, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy.
Good morning.
Morning.
Morning. So what Mark Zuckerberg fails to tell us is that he took a wonderful idea and made a lot of money with it. You know, the reason why a lot of Harvard grads, which we mentioned in the past, cannot pay off the student loans is they've got degrees in pointless, areas.
Yes, like economics at Harvard. Yes. Yes. No, you're right. Thanks for the call, Huda. You're right. Absolutely. Of course, because he's pandering. He's not, and he's got the depth of a puddle. Harry in Hawthorne Woods.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good.
Yeah, I mean, here you've got a billionaire who succeeded as a result of capitalism, basically decrying capitalism. It's a complete load of hooey, total economic ignorance as to what brings about wealth, what wealth actually is, what money actually is. Basically, to quote one of people in Rand, frozen productivity. It shows a complete lack of understanding of what brings about prosperity.
Yeah. Thanks for the call here. I mean, he understands it. I mean, he's limited, but he understands it. This is just him essentially saying, I got mine. There's a lot of folks that don't have the same ability that I do. So I believe in capitalism as long as it's government directed, which of course is an oxymoron from a moron.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We'll talk to Rich Lowry, editor of National Review, about Jared Kushner.
Yeah.
Or the Kush, as you call it.
Kush is now focused on the Russia investigation.
That's at 8:38.
But first, let's go into the newsroom and say hi to Dave Stewart, who's sitting in for Mike Scott.
Thanks, Amy. Thanks, Dan. 62 degrees in Chicago at 8:31 at AM 560. The Answer. From the Nissan of St. Charles newsroom, Nissan of St. Charles, home of the Lifetime Advantage warranty. Some 26 people reported dead in Egypt after gunmen opened fire on a bus carrying Coptic Christians on a religious trip. The attack happened today in Minya. That's about 150 miles south of Cairo. Republican Greg Gianforte is the projected winner in that Montana special congressional election. In his acceptance speech, Gianforte addressed the altercation with a reporter the day before.
I took an action that I can't take back, and I'm not proud of what happened. I should not have responded in the way that I did, and for that I'm sorry.
And you're forgiven.
Guardian reporter Ben Jacobs claimed that Gianforte body slammed him the evening before yesterday's election. President Trump says his overseas trip is so far very successful. He tweeted that this morning, saying it, quote, made and saved many billions of dollars and millions of jobs. A teacher at the Chicago Military Academy appears in court today. He's accused of sexually assaulting a 16-year-old girl multiple times this year. Anthony Frontero was arrested Wednesday in Elgin. An Illinois House committee has approved a bill to allow higher prison sentences for repeat gun offenders. Chicago Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson testified in favor of that bill.
These offenders are cycled through a criminal justice system with a severe lack of accountability for the crimes that they commit. They're released back to the streets so quickly that they see no reason to change their behavior.
That bill now goes to the full House. And the state is looking at a third straight year without a budget, $14 billion in unpaid bills. Still, investors think the state is still a bargain. Bloomberg reports Citigroup is strongly suggesting investors buy Illinois bonds. In sports, the Cubs beat the Giants 5-1 Thursday. They visit the Dodgers tonight. Sox host Detroit in a doubleheader. The news and service of Lowe's. Pro customers at Lowe's, you can save 5% on every purchase every day when you use your Lowe's business credit account. That's 5% on all purchases in-store or online. Subject to credit approval, U.S. only. AM 560 News Time 8:33. We'll check traffic in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas, great coffee, period. On AM 560, The Answer, we talk about the important issues that affect your world. Things like the economy, education, and foreign policy. There's always so much going on in the news that we don't always have the time to focus in and talk about the big ideas behind the important issues. Enter Upstream Ideas online at upstream-ideas.com. Upstream Ideas, in partnership with the Illinois Opportunity Project, provides the kind of information that informs the policy discussions happening here on AM 560. At Upstream Ideas, you'll broaden the debate, move beyond partisan assumptions, and challenge accepted beliefs. Upstream Ideas goes against the current and thinks upstream. Go online now at upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. You'll be armed with new information and fresh perspectives to help encourage you to make the state of Illinois and the United States of America a bit freer, a bit more just, and a bit more civilized. Upstream-ideas.com.
If you have pain, listen up. Dennis Prager here. You don't need to live in pain. Let me repeat that. You don't have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst, whether it's from an accident or pain that just develops. So, Chicagoland, you're in luck. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the nation's most respected and successful pain doctors. He's been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Bottom line, he's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido of Chicago Anesthesia and Pain Specialists will help you get off pain medication and all of its side effects. How? By finding the source of your chronic pain and fixing it.
This is Ken Candido of Chicago Anesthesia Pain Specialists. Let's make you pain-free.
Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain, and you can be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info you need at mypainchicago.com.
At 8:35 from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, David. The Edens is fine now inbound. It's 19 minutes from Lake Cook to Montrose, but outbound 33 minutes. The delays are from Peterson to Willow. Inbound Kennedy, 33 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, 23 from Montrose, 16 on the Express. Outbound 12 minutes to Montrose and 30 to the airport. The Eisenhower, 42 minutes from Thorndale to the Loop, 26 from Manheim. Outbound 21 minutes to Manheim, but an hour and 2 minutes to Thorndale. Got a big jam from North Avenue to Addison Road. We're checking on the reason for that, but I want to find an alternate. Stevenson, 53 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 41. Ryan, 26 minutes, 95th to downtown, outbound 15. Southbound Lakeshore Drive, a little heavier on Fullerton, then slow 18th to the Stevenson. Northbound Tri-State delays are from Plainfield Road to 31st, then from the Reagan Tollway to the Eisenhower. The other tollways are fine, 80-94. We have roadwork delays eastbound from past Central to Ripley, westbound Grant to Burr. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
More of Chicago's Morning Answer next, but now that forecast, a service of aircomfort.com, providing the right climate for business since 1935. Today, turning cloudy, a shower or thunderstorm late this afternoon, high 72. Mostly cloudy, a couple of showers this evening, down to 56 for a low. Tomorrow, we'll see intervals of clouds and sunshine with a high of 77. Right now, it's 62 degrees at O'Hare. Next news, 9 o'clock. Now more of Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Bolingbrook Golf Club. For tee times and more, visit BolingbrookGolfClub.com.
Hey, before you read about it on Facebook or Twitter or hear about it from your friends, find out what today's big stories really mean with me, Sean Hannity, today at 2, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So Trump earning high marks even from many of his detractors on his international tour, particularly his speech in Saudi Arabia. I think a lot of Trump supporters and even some conservatives who may have their qualms about Trump appreciated what he had to say at NATO HQ yesterday to the assembled European heads of state. But meanwhile, back at the ranch, the domestic agenda languishes a bit. This week, McConnell saying he doesn't see how we get to 50 votes on Obamacare replace. Fourth Circuit expectedly kicking the temporary travel ban, kicking it. So it's going to go up to the Supreme Court, which is anticipated. And then the continued D.C. press corps obsession with Russian collusion, which Trump's calm work on has not in any way helped. Krauthammer earlier this week suggesting something I think is right, that part of the reason this has become a story that the D.C. press corps can obsess about is because while there is no there, Trump behaves like there's a there everywhere. So how does the Trump regime get its legs back underneath it for the domestic policy agenda, which ultimately he's going to be judged on? Health insurance, tax policy, and correspondingly, economic growth, job opportunities, rising incomes. Well, that's too big a question for me, so we have to bring in an expert. And the expert we have chosen is National Review editor and Fox News contributor Rich Lowry, the author of Lincoln Unbound, and recently a good column that's worth a read, Populism's False Start, talking about the Trump agenda. Rich, thanks for joining us again. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
So what about that? I mean, do you feel, as I do, that the domestic agenda is a bit imperiled and there needs to be more done to move that along?
Yeah, it's scuffling. There's no doubt about it. And Russia doesn't help. I don't think it's a torpedo that's going to destroy everything the way that the press thinks. But it will help a lot if the White House continues to go in the direction they're going, which is to kind of devote a staff just to dealing with the investigation and the various controversies and trying to stovepipe those people away from everyone else who needs to be about the business of trying to run the government and get the stuff passed through Congress. But I think the most important piece of that kind of stovepiping would be probably the one that's least plausible, which is just stopping President Trump from addressing any of it. All he needs to say ever again is it's an ongoing investigation. I have nothing to say.
Right, and he's hired a private attorney or personal attorney to take care of the matter, and he shouldn't tweet about it anymore.
Correct. And every unforced error in this matter, and there have been a number of them that got all the way to a special counsel appointment, has been Trump's doing or Trump's saying. So he can be angry at his communication staff, and maybe he could have better personnel there. But at the end of the day, it's him. So if he would just stop, it would help a lot. And we saw it on the trip. It's not at a certain level. It's not hard to be president of the United States. If you show up and read the script, you're fine. And that's what he did almost for the entirety of the trip, and it was fine. And if he did that when he was here at home, his presidency would probably look 30% better, and he'd be 5-7 points higher in the polls.
But picking up on that point about his comm staff, because there's a lot of course, rumors abounding that the first part of next month, after he's resettled from his international tour, there may be a shakeup in his comm staff. It doesn't strike me, though, that this is solely, at least, a marketing problem for Trump or even a discipline problem for Trump. He also has a recalcitrant Congress and particularly Senate that just isn't moving with the alacrity that they need to move if you're going to get big pieces of reform legislation done before years out.
Yeah, well, there's one big factor here that I think people don't focus on it enough, which is, Obama got a lot of stuff done the first 2 years, but he had 60 votes in the Senate for most of that. Republicans have 52, which means the filibuster will stop everything unless you use this procedural process called the reconciliation process to get around the filibuster. But that only gives you 1 or 2 shots at doing something. So they have to be big things. Just big things are complicated, they're hard, and they've chosen 2 of them that would be, kind of generational achievements, rolling back an entitlement in the form of Obamacare and a big reform of taxes. And Obamacare, they're working at it in the Senate, but it's a little alarming. You had Mitch McConnell yesterday saying, I don't know how we get to 50. We're not there yet. And tax reform, I'm just skeptical whether there'll be a major reform of the tax code. I think there'll end up being a pretty big tax cut, and that's good enough for me. But it's not as though the problem is they just sort of can't take medium victories and go home because they have like 2 shots at it, and then basically nothing else is going to happen.
And so now on the spend side, Trump's budget, which was introduced this week and greeted with the usual hysteria from the left, unimaginable cruelty is what Hillary Clinton said. A Philadelphia bishop who had a press conference on it said it was in document form ethnic cleansing of black and brown people. That sort of reasonable.
Reverse Robin Hood.
Yeah, well, that's tame. I mean, I'm talking about the typical rhetoric of what has become of the Democrat Party in the 21st century, the hysterical left, as represented by some of those comments and commentators. And so you're, from a conservative perspective, does he keep Social Security and Medicaid off the table? But there is slowing of the growth. What's your overall take on what he proposed?
Well, I agree with you on the complete hysteria over the budget, and the thing that those folks are focusing on are actually good things. You know, we should be looking to pare back programs like food stamps and to reform them and to attach a work requirement to them, which in effect just means that you have to engage in some supervised job search. You know, so it gets you out of the house, it gets you focused and organized, and that's a good thing. My problem with the budget, as you allude to, is if you leave the big entitlements untouched, then you got to try to squeeze domestic discretionary spending in a way that's probably just not politically possible. So you just end up not really addressing what's driving the federal spending. Plus, this budget, you know, every president's budget is full of smoke and mirrors. This one's particularly bad. I mean, there's $2 trillion kind of magic revenue they assume from growth related to tax reform, but they're also assuming that extra $2 trillion will pay for the tax cut as well. So they're kind of double counting it. So Congress will more or less start over, and it's not certain they're going to be able to pass a budget.
Well, but here's the trick bag the Trump administration is in, right? I mean, Lindsey Graham and John McCain are crying foul over this budget as being too draconian with respect to spend. And so what would they say if you actually looked at taking on another huge undertaking in addition to health insurance and tax reform, and that's Medicaid, Medicare, entitlement programs?
Yeah, no, that's true. It's a huge undertaking. The politics are very treacherous. You know, at your best, if you're doing your really best and focusing on it and making the best case, maybe you can fight to a draw on these sort of entitlement cuts, but it's very difficult. There's no doubt about it.
All right, what was breaking yesterday? Some breaking news that Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, is now the focus in the Russian investigation. Is there any there? Is this still a dig?
And a predicate question to that, Rich, is because we've never talked to somebody who's actually heard Jared Kushner talk, and I don't know if you've ever heard his voice. So I'd like to know.
Now that you mentioned it, I haven't.
Yeah, see?
He hasn't either.
See?
Everyone we invite on the show, Rich, we ask that question to, and no one has heard his voice.
I'm not even sure he exists.
No,
I think he's an avatar.
In life to go somewhere where I can hear Jared Kushner speak. I think the Jared thing is kind of unfair. You know, he's going to be asked about his couple of meetings, which don't seem highly sinister. One was with the Russian ambassador. One was with a Russian bank. So maybe that was a little more worrisome. But in any investigation, they're going to talk to lots of people. It doesn't mean you're the focus or the target. And there's no indication that he's the focus or the target. In fact, that you read to the 10th paragraph of some of these stories, you see that he's not. So I think, I doubt there's a major conspiracy afoot and that the Trump administration, Trump campaign colluded with the Russians. What I don't doubt is that Michael Flynn and Carter Page and Paul Manafort and Roger Stone are kind of shady dealers. And I would not be shocked. The harder you look under some of those rocks, you're going to see some nasty things. But I imagine it's going to be fairly marginal compared to what would be the thermonuclear event of like proven collusion with the Russians going all the way up to Trump himself. Michael Flynn, which is who's driving a lot of this at the moment. We're talking about non-disclosure. We're talking about a Turkish lobbying contract, and that's kind of far away from the things that are really what's really motivating the left's and the media's obsession with this, which is the idea that the election was effectively stolen and Trump's victory is illegitimate because he did it in league with foreign power.
I want to get your take on the Democrats' choreography, what they're trying to do with Tom Perez's resistance tour and doing his Bob Saget routine on the stump, working blue, and then President Obama making himself available for public pronouncements, not just for cash, but also to offer his romper room observations on the world, like build bridges, not walls, and barriers need to come down, and
equality for all.
Take out your carpet squares and all that. And if you think this is coordinated as part of some kind of larger overarching strategy they're trying to deploy for the midterm elections, considering Perez was his labor secretary and so forth.
Yeah. Well, with Obama, I think his relative prominence, as opposed to what past presidents have done, especially George W. Bush, just speaks to the fact that Democrats don't have anyone else. There's not one single unifying figure. They won't have one until they have a presidential nominee, in 2020. So they go to Obama. And then on the resistance, it's their right to resist and to oppose. We did the same thing to Obama. But, you need to do it in a way that's appealing and creative, and I'm not sure we're seeing that. And in fact, a lot of it has been stupid and counterproductive even for their own purposes, like the filibuster of Neil Gorsuch. And what we've seen from these special elections is there's a Democratic tide out there. The Democratic candidates are outperforming what they were doing 2 years ago, but so far they haven't been able to actually pick off any of these seats. And the latest example is Montana, where the Republican, even body slams a reporter, still wins by 6
Hey, it was a good takedown. Come on.
Right. Nobody has a figure four leg lock like Greg Gianforte. There's no question about that. Everybody in Congress is on notice.
When he walks through the halls, people are just going to back up. Don't make eye contact with him.
As one tweeter noted, I'd like to see Rahm Emanuel confront him in a shower. That would be fun. Yeah. Rich Lowry, he is the editor of National Review, nationalreview.com, also a Fox News contributor. The latest book, Lincoln Unbound. Rich, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Hey, thanks, guys. Have a great weekend.
You too.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Before you see it on TV, share it on Facebook, or read about it in the paper, hear it here first. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up next, from the Super Bowl to the Gay Bowl, yes, it's happening in Boston. We'll explain why the Patriots are involved. Seriously. But first, here's your forecast. Plenty of sunshine right now. We could expect a storm here around 3:30, 4 o'clock this afternoon. A high of 75 degrees. Your weekend looks okay. Saturday, you have a chance of a morning shower. Otherwise, mostly sunny skies, 75 degrees. And on Sunday, 77 degrees for a high with a chance of a little afternoon shower. No big deal. And on Monday, same thing. Spotty showers on and off throughout the day. A little bit cooler, highs in the upper 60s. Let's get into our alarm detection systems traffic center. Busy man. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Dan. Amy, your inbound Kennedy has delays starting at Addison Street, but it's lighter than it's been all week. The travel time right now is 33 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. It's 23 from Montrose, 16 in the Express. Outbound, just 11 minutes to Montrose and 30 to the airport. Eden's clear inbound. Outbound, got about a 7-minute delay from Toohey to Willow Road. The Eisenhower, 42 minutes. Thorndale to downtown, 26 from Manheim. Outbound, really heavy on the extension from North Avenue to Addison Road. So it's just 21 minutes to Manheim, but 55 to Thorndale. Stevenson, 51 minutes, 3:55 to the drive. Outbound 41. Ryan, 22 minutes, 95th to downtown. Lakeshore Drive, the only delay now is southbound, 18th to the Stevenson. The tollways are all good. 80-94. Eastbound stop and go past Central to Ripley, westbound Broadway to Kennedy. And that's a big delay. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me. But I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Attention outlet shoppers! Right now, save 50 to 70% off everything for the family at Gap Factory stores and online. With shorts from $14.99 and tees from $6.99. And save 50 to 70% off everything at Banana Republic Factory stores and online. With an extra 50% off clearance and dresses for women starting at $19.99. Hurry! Shop Gap Factory or Banana Republic Factory in Aurora, Chicago, Rosemount, Gurnee, Kenosha, Michigan City, or Berwyn.
Folks, how much is great service, low closing costs, and competitive interest rates worth to you? At Townstone Financial, it's priceless. Hi, Barry Sterner, owner of Townstone Financial. Let's hear about the Townstone experience from one of our customers.
I've been thrilled with Townstone. You guys have been there for me. You always got what I needed in a hurry. Extremely efficient and pleasant to work with. Zach called me to reassure me everything is going well. The plights that I found myself in, Barry has always found a way to get me out of them so I could get the property technology that I wanted. So there's a big difference between that kind of attention versus going to a bank or another lending institution who really don't care.
Remember, nobody values your business more than Townstone Financial, and I'm always available to answer your questions. Call me now, Barry Sterner, 312-896-2111. That's 312-896-2111. Or go to townstone.com. That's TOWNSTONE.com.
Townstone Financials, Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, Florida, Illinois, mortgage licensee 66229 and NMLS 136639. Equal housing lender.
Harvey owns a building and wants to save money by making his heating and cooling system more energy efficient.
Yes?
But Harvey's afraid of the cost and if he can get a return on his investment.
I am indeed.
Plus, he's nervous about disrupting the businesses that rent space in his building. Harvey doesn't know what to do with an HVAC system that's seen better days. The Air Comfort problem solvers to the rescue. Working as a team, the Air Comfort professionals find simple solutions that make a huge impact on building efficiency and operating costs, with minimal or no disruptions to building operations. HVAC upgrades and retrofits from Air Comfort can save thousands of dollars per year. They save energy, reduce maintenance, and eliminate downtime. And buildings with better energy ratings command higher rents and selling prices and make tenants happy. Get real solutions from the Air Comfort team of problem solvers. Call 708-345-1900 or visit aircomfort.com and start saving money today. Air Comfort, providing the right climate for business since 1935.
The Ready to Ride sales event is back. Gear up for your ultimate summer outdoor adventure with the latest Can-Am off-road models. Choose from the high-performance Maverick X3, the dynamic Outlander XT, or anything in between. Shop today and save up to $3,000 on select 2016 models. Get ready to explore what lies beyond the grid.
Visit our equipment in Sycamore or Utica or online at ourequipment.com.
Offer ends soon. Restrictions may apply. See dealer for details.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace is your neighborhood place for everything Yeti, from coolers to drinkware. And right now, for the first time ever, Yeti is on sale. During the Ace Memorial Day sale, save 25% on Yeti Rambler stainless steel drinkware. It's virtually indestructible and keeps drinks hot or cold for longer. So hurry into your local Ace and save 25% on Yeti stainless steel drinkware. Offer valid for Ace Rewards members only through June 4th. Excludes Duracoat colors and jugs. See participating stores for details.
My name is David Hochberg, Vice President Lending at Pearl Mortgage. If you're looking to secure financing on a new home or refinance your existing home, give me a call. If you're purchasing a home within the next year, this is very important. Your credit score is the most important factor in determining your interest rate and monthly payments. I strongly advise listeners purchasing a home to contact me as far in advance as possible so I can pre-qualify you for free. I will analyze your credit and make recommendations to improve your credit scores so you can secure the lowest rate when purchasing a home. Paying banks and other lenders a fee to get pre-qualified is ridiculous. If you're purchasing a home, give me a call now at 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com and get pre-qualified for free. I've helped thousands of AM560 listeners, but I can't help if you don't call 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage, an equal housing lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee 4358 and MLS 19186.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I was diagnosed with congestive heart failure. I went from being able to work 14, 16 hours a day with no problem to where I could barely walk a block to the store. I went on to the phytonutrients about 6 months ago, and within a couple of months, my medical doctor had cut my prescriptions down in a little bit smaller dosage. The next time I went back a month later, I walked into the doctor's office and he says, "My gosh, what's happened to you? You don't even look like the same person." He looked at my legs and the swelling had gone down. My blood pressure was down. The venous stasis ulcers that I had had on my legs for the last 4 or 5 years because of the poor circulation were all healed, and I'm feeling far better.
The new challenge will allow you to receive 2 months of Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies free, and we'll even ship them to you free. Call now for details. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
Don't go to bed another night worrying about unfiled tax returns or the letters or the calls you're getting from the IRS. If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS, there's actually good news. The IRS has recently enacted changes in the tax law called the Fresh Start Initiative, specifically for troubled taxpayers who owe the IRS. You may be able to settle your entire tax debt for up to 85% off the original amount owed, including penalties and interest, if you qualify. Call for your free consultation with comprehensive Tax Solutions. No matter what tax issue you're facing, one call to Mary Karpowitz of Comprehensive Tax Solutions, family owned in Chicagoland, can show you the difference between night and day so that you can enjoy what matters most to you. Don't spend another day or night hiding from the IRS. Call 708-478-6770, 708-478-6770, or go to resolveyourtaxproblems.com. That's resolveyourtaxproblems.com with Comprehensive Tax Solutions.
AM 560, The Answer.
From the Super Bowl to the Gay Bowl, this is the 17th annual Gay Bowl, and it's taking place this year in Boston, and they're hoping they have a wicked good time.
And Ben Affleck and Matt Damon are in different teams, right?
Exactly. There's Open A, Open B, and a women's division. And apparently this is a big deal, such a big deal that the New England Patriots are a key sponsor for Gay Bowl 2017.
They're looking for some instruction on touchdown dances. Not to mention, that's also like Rob Gronkowski's fan club. You know why they like Gronkowski so much?
Why? Because he has a tight end. Hey-oh! Thanks for making us part of your week. Thanks to Jason Kosick, our technical director. Justin, kidding. And Keith Conrad, our executive producer. We're back here on Tuesday. Have a great, happy, healthy, and safe Memorial Day weekend. Now into the newsroom we go. Here's Dave Stewart, who's sitting in for Mike Scott.
Thanks, Amy. Thanks, Dan. Have a good weekend. Among the stories we're watching this morning, state lawmakers closer to approving tougher penalties for